How about now? Can you hear me now? We good? We good? Can you hear me now? Let me know. Let me know. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. If I'm good to go. All right, we good? I bet. My bad. Yeah, so just make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit the bell notification. If you want to become an ENG member, 99 cents at the minimum, and the max is $2.99. If you want the top tier one, that's it. $2.99. Like I told y'all, we trying to get to 100 members by the end of the year. So we gotta make sure we pushing it. Make sure we pushing it hard. All right. What else we got? I told y'all I said my cheers. With every glass, pour with purpose. Cheers. Just in case y'all didn't get that the last time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into these topics, man, because we got a lot of things to cover. Make sure you supporting the channel with the super chats as well. Oh, if you sent the 100, I would have seen it, big dog. Don't be threatened. Don't be lying. Don't just be coming here just lying for no reason. If you sent it, cool. That's what's up. I appreciate it. I highlight it. But if you didn't, don't just be coming here lying just to be lying. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb just to be lying for no reason. It ain't even warranted for you to lie. You just come in here. Oh, I sent the $100. Come on, bro. Chill out. Relax, big dog. It ain't that serious. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this first topic of today. So I know there's a lot of conversations about dating. There's a lot of conversations that men are going through with women. Now the studs, they're complaining. So we go dive into it, and then we go give our thoughts and our opinions. All right, so let's go ahead and rock out.
Video play in its entirety because it proves that straight women and femmes, we may be the problem.
So y'all just don't trick on studs? Like, we can't get no flowers, you can't pay for no haircut, you can't pay for a retwist. Damn, ain't no random acts of thought around this motherfucker. We just gotta provide. No.
Since these females be acting like we ain't shit, they don't need us, we don't bring no value to their life, man, fuck that. We going on strike with their ass. It's time to go on strike, man. It's time to stop putting up with this bullshit.
Good gay women don't mean that they're stupid opportunists. That don't mean we stupid. How you trying to take advantage of me and you got a man that don't even want to take care of their kids, but you trying to take advantage of me when I'm free help? You don't take advantage of something that wants to help, you fucking dummy.
Every time we go out, the expectation is that the stud pays. What?
So now I ask the question, if the men think we're the problem, and now the studs also think we're the problem, who y'all think the problem is?
I mean, what do they want me to say? what more do we need to say? Now, that doesn't mean that all women are bad, right? So let me preface it that way. That does not mean all women are bad. But there needs to be a conversation. A conversation needs to be had. Here's why. I see. Now, again, I don't agree with the lifestyle. I don't agree with it on either side of the aisle, right? But one thing I don't see a lot of gay men complaining about their relationships with men. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. I do, but we do see a lot of studs complaining about the women that they are dating. And to add fuel to the fire, higher DV cases happen when it's a woman-to-woman relationship versus a man-to-man relationship. So when we ask the question, who's typically the problem? We got to look at the results. We got to look at the evidence. It may not always be the case that it's the woman, but there are a lot of cases that prove the point that may be leaning towards one side. And that's not to say that's not to point the finger. Say that's all women. We should be smart enough to know that nothing is absolute. Well, you got to look at the numbers. You got to look at the numbers. I'm gonna play it again. Make sure I ain't miss nothing. Make sure I'm not missing anything.
Let this video play in its entirety because it proves that straight women and femmes, we may be the problem.
So y'all just don't trick on studs? Like, we can't get no flowers, you can't pay for no haircut, you can't pay for a retwist. Damn, ain't no random acts of thought around this motherfucker. We just gotta provide. No.
Since these females be acting like we ain't shit, they don't need us, we don't bring no value to their life, man, fuck that. We going on strike with their ass. It's time to go on strike, man. It's time to stop putting up with this bullshit.
Good gay women don't mean that they're stupid opportunists. That don't mean we stupid. How you trying to take advantage of me and you got a man that don't even want to take care of their kids, but you trying to take advantage of me when I'm free help? You don't take advantage of something that wants to help, you fucking dummy.
Every time we go out, the expectation is that the stud pays. What?
So now I ask.
Now, even with that, regardless of how much of a stud you want to be, how much you want to claim to be a stud, you want to dress and look like us, you want to look like man, you want to walk and talk like man. Listen, you picking a side. So yes, if you gonna move like the man, if you gonna operate like the man, guess what? You got to do the man shit. You can't expect shit in return. Oh, I'm not supposed to be cursing. Y'all supposed to hold me accountable. I'm not supposed to be cursing. You are supposed to do the manly things. You're supposed to pay for her bills. You're supposed to take her out, and she ain't supposed to pay for nothing. Now some of you women who are studs, now you're starting to understand the things that men have to go through when they're dealing with certain women. Now you're starting to understand it. Men aren't just talking just to be saying something. A lot of times men are chilling. A lot of things that men say, it's a rebuttal to what they have heard from women's mouths. We've been hearing it for years. We've been hearing man bad for years. It's only been recent. Now, mind you, were men always talking? Absolutely. That's what they called it. That's why they called it barbershop talk. It never left the barbershop. Never left the barbershop at all. It was never on public platforms. Nothing of the sort. Now, of course, if it was comedy or something, yeah, of course, you would hear it that way. But you never seen it in movies. You never seen the male empowerment or the red pill. But you seen it a ton on the women's side. You had the Ricky Lakes, the Oprahs, shit, sometimes even the Jerry Springers. Then in all other movies, it was man bad, man bad, man bad. Women great, women great, women great. Women don't do no bad. You worship the ground that she walks on. But again, even though the conversation has been being had before, what made it viral, what made this whole thing boom online was Kevin Samuels. That's what made it boom. Because he kept it 100. He kept it a P. When he started to open up the call line and the floodgates of women started to call and ask what was the issue, then he started to ask what's your height, what's your weight, what's X, Y, and Z. Oh man, he stirred the pot. And everybody was getting on him. So, but hey, bro, this is what y'all get. This is what you get. This is what you get. You want to do manly things? Guess what? You got to take it. You got to take the good with the bad. You can't expect a lot. You just got to do what you got to do. But shout out to this content creator. No, her name is Janice Cheyenne, man. Go and check her out. I'll make sure I plug her in when I clip this video up. I'll make sure I tag her TikTok video and all that because she's been doing some great content. I've seen a couple of her couple of pieces of her work. She's pretty dope. So shout out to her. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell notification. And let me know y'all thoughts.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these 2 videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Let me read this real quick. He says, working this patrol shift, brother. I listen in when I can. Love the content, man. Keep growing. Hey, I appreciate you, mediocre jiu-jitsu. I appreciate you, homie. Getting in on the road, keep it 100. It wasn't all men, it was black men getting the blame for everything. That's keeping it 100. That's fair. Hey, listen. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. It wasn't just black men, bro. I've heard, dog. That's what I'm saying. It's not just a black thing. I promise you. It's a whole woman thing. It's on all sides of the aisle, man. It's always man bad. Everything, man bad, man bad, man bad, man bad. I'm telling you, it's not just on the black side. I promise you it's not. It's on all sides. Like, well, women, I'm a woman, hear me roar. I can do this, I can do that. Great. And here's the thing. Men never tripped about it. Men don't complain about the aspect of it. It's when they then try to come into our space and then think that we supposed to let you do what you want to do. No, absolutely not. Be great in your space. Be great in the things that you do as a woman. Be great there. But when you try to come into enemy territory, that's where we have the issue. That's where the problems begin. That's where the HR complaints come in. That's where all the BS comes in. Now we gotta watch the way that we say certain things, because the things that men say in the locker rooms or things that men say in the male spaces, now we gotta watch our tone. We get tone police of the things that we say because we don't want to offend nobody. No, you decided to come into this space, so guess what? I'm gonna talk how I talk, and you just gonna have to rock out with it, or you can leave. Pick one. I'll give you an example. In the WNBA, Asia Wilson, right? Asia Wilson, phenomenal hooper in the WNBA. Would never take nothing from her. She's dope. She is dope. But where she crossed the lines where she said she can be the NBA player. I said, what? You can be the NBA player? Where? When? You couldn't even beat the player that's on the end of the bench. And that's when you start to walk in the enemy territory. Now we got to check you. Now it's like, nah, see, now you're doing too much. Now you see some success over here in the WNBA. Now you think that's going to translate or convert over to the NBA. It don't work like that, big dog. It don't work like that at all. At all. So where did the term "you don't need a father to raise a child" come from? To Sally Raphael, the Donnie Hughes, the Montel Show. No, listen. No. I think you're missing it, bro. I'm not negating that. I'm not negating that at all. But what I am saying is not only on this side of the aisle. It's on all sides of the aisle, bro. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not negating what you're saying, but I'm saying this is an addition to. Not an and or. This is an addition to. In addition to that, there's also women on the other side of the aisle too, in other races and other cultures. They're doing the same thing. They were doing the same thing. That's what I'm saying. The first legally recorded execution of a black person was in 1755. T. Mitchell. See, this is the dumb behavior that I disagree with. This is the dummy behavior. I'm a very objective person, right? I even voted for Trump myself, right? I'm a very objective person, but this is the stupidity that we talk about. This is the stupidity that we talk about. This is the ghetto ratchet. I'm pretty sure he's a white guy. This is the dumb stupidity that we talk about, because it ain't just in the black community. You got idiots in all races, and he's one of them. This is why they're able to talk behind profile pictures. They don't even have one. That's dumb. Is it the monkey show? It ain't even, bro. Find some new material, bro. Find new material. Find some new material. Find something different. Find something clever to say. We start, bro. It's what time is it? It's 10:24. We barely started the show, and you already got some dummy in here already talking crazy behind our profile picture. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Be smart, dog. If you're gonna have some kind, if you're gonna be a troll better. Cause y'all are getting worse and worse at trolling, man. Do better, man. I'm about to start charging a tariff. I'm about to start making y'all pay a tariff in here. $5 fee when you say something dumb. It's a $5 super chat fee when you say something dumb. Stupid. Facts. That's what dummies do. That's a fact. Don't make no sense at all. Just saying, just to be saying, oh, I think this would be clever to say, oh, it's the monkey show. It don't even make sense. Stupid. All right. What do we got next? Ooh, do we want to touch on that one? You know what? I want to touch on this. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter if it's 0 people in here. It don't matter. It don't matter if I'm talking to myself. It's still dumb. That's the point. You think that hurts my feelings that I got 5 people here? It don't hurt my feelings. Guess what? People are in here, including yourself. So it don't matter. Whether it's 0 people here, whether it's 1,000 people, whether it's 2 people. It don't matter. What you said was dumb and it's stupid. If you're going to say what you say, put a profile picture up and stand behind it so people can see your face. How about you do that? Do something. Nah, how about I touch on all races? Because it ain't just black people messing up. Y'all messing up the culture too. Everybody messing it up. All different sides, all walks of life. Liberal black people, liberal white people, all fucking liberals, they're fucking it up too. Now what's up? Now what you gonna say? Including yourself, because you're being dumb, you're being an idiot. Instead of trying to have a conductive conversation and move it forward, you want to come in here and say some dumb shit. Make it make sense. Yeah, a smart person don't always show up, but a dummy can't help but expose and say every single time, bro. Every single time. And then they'll make it say, oh, you only got 5 people in here. So what's your point? Am I supposed to be upset about that? You do understand that this is YouTube, correct? You do understand that this is YouTube. So it takes time to grow. It takes time to build a community. It takes time for people to want to pop in and watch you. It takes time. It takes consistency, my boy. This ain't Instagram. This ain't TikTok where you make one video and it goes viral. This ain't that. That's why YouTube is the big dog. It takes time to build. Maybe you don't understand that. Maybe you don't understand that. But anyway, next time, anyway, pay a tariff if you want me to. You're gonna have to pay a tariff. I'm not addressing you anymore, T Mitchell. If you want to be addressed, you're gonna have to pay a super chat. That's a tariff. So whatever. Let's get to it. Next topic. Let's get to the next topic. Ooh, do we want to go to this one? All right, now let's go to Missouri. Let's go to Missouri. I hate when they do that. Let me see if I can find a better one here, man. Because I hate when they do that. I hate when they do it like that. Give me a second, y'all. I'm coming. There we go. Perfection. That's what we needed right there. All right, so let's get to it. Oh, we get multiple angles from this. I like this. Let's talk about it. Save that. So we can get it from multiple different angles. All right. All right, here we go. That's what we want to be. Here and there. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this next topic. So a 10-year-old has been charged with murder after infant shooting death in St. Louis, Missouri. So we're gonna get into this, and then we're gonna give our thoughts, and then we're gonna give our opinions. So let's go ahead and rock out.
With first-degree murder by the juvenile courts after he shot and killed a 7-month-old girl inside of a North St. Louis home on Friday. They say it happened just after 4 p.m. at a home on North Broadway in Baden. When officers got to the scene, they found 7-month-old Courtnee Parker had been shot. Once detectives learned that the 10-year-old was responsible, they took him into custody. They say, again, they are working with juvenile courts to determine the next steps. A 19-year-old man was arrested on gun charges.
Tonight, we have new developments in the shooting that left a baby in North St. Louis dead. Hours ago, prosecutors charged a 10-year-old who they say pulled the trigger with murder. Police say a 19-year-old is also facing gun charges. The announcements came hours after police identified the 7-month-old baby. 5 on your side's Reagan DeTrolio tells us outraged community advocates hope their calls for change don't fall on deaf ears.
This is a very sad and unfortunate incident. This is a 7-month-old baby that just never got to even begin to live life.
7-month-old girl Courtnee Parker died after being shot at a home here on North Broadway Friday afternoon around 4 p.m. 2 people, a 10-year-old boy and a 19-year-old man, were taken into custody.
This is 2 lives that will be, change forever.
Precious Jones' son died from gun violence a few years back. Now she's fighting to save others from the same fate.
These types of incidents can be prevented.
There's free gun locks provided at every St. Louis public library, including this one in the Baden neighborhood, just a couple blocks off from where shots were fired.
The library is not the first place you would think of to get a gun lock, but they are available for free if you need them.
Librarian Amy Brown tells me gun locks are now more accessible than ever.
Just walk up to any circulation desk and ask for a gun lock.
But there's other ways to get a gun lock too.
You can go to any Phillips 66 Crown Market and ask for a gun lock.
St. Louis Metropolitan Police told 5 on Your Side the 19-year-old is facing criminal gun charges. What happened leading up to the shooting is still being determined.
We are still very
What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? A 19-year-old has a weapon. Somehow the 10-year-old gets the weapon and shoots a 7-month-old baby, bro. Where the parents at, man? Where the parents at? Where are the parents at? What are we doing? Why does a 19-year-old have a weapon? Let me see. What's the Let me see something. I gotta see. In St. Louis, Missouri, residents can carry firearms under state law with or without a permit, but must comply with age, training, and location restrictions. Concealed carry and permitless carry So Missouri allows permitless carry, constitutional carry, for individuals 19 years or older, or 18 and older if active duty military or honorably discharged. Okay, so you can have a weapon at the age of 19, and it's open carry. We got to do better. We have to do better with concealing our weapons. We have to do better when children are around. You have to be more careful. You have to have preventative measures. How is it that a 10-year-old can get your gun, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing? And again, I'm still saying, where are the parents at? Why does a 10-year-old kid want to put... I need more evidence, bro. I need more evidence, because this is sad, man. But here's also another thing though. We ain't covering this though. I don't see nobody covering it. I don't see nobody talking about it. I don't see nobody having conversations about it. But when it comes to different races, when it comes to somebody else doing it, it'll be in an uproar. Everybody will be talking about it. Everybody will have a think piece about it. Everybody will be having a conversation. It'll be on X. It'll be on TikTok. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Instagram. Everybody will be posting about it. But a 7-month-old lost his life. A 10-year-old got charged, so definitely finna do some. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do to him, but his life is screwed, as well as his 19-year-old. This doesn't make sense to me at all, bro. Bro, whenever I've made or assisted in the arrest, it's like they get younger and younger. These youths are rude. That's what I'm saying, man. Where are the parents at, though? That's my question. Nothing against you, bro. I'm new here, but it's not like you. It's not like a youth problem. It's a bad culture. Gun crimes are not done with illegal guns. Was this a legal situation? Yes, it was. White kids aren't shooting each other. No. Here's the thing, Rusty Diggins. I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. It's a culture issue. It is. I 110%, but I agree with that aspect, right? But what I need to understand, but it's individuals like me who don't celebrate that part of the culture, though. There are some great things that happen in the Black culture, right? But what they celebrate is the degeneracy of the Black culture. Right? Those are the things the degenerate behavior is what gets highlighted. Not the great things that's happening in the Black community, though. So for me, I'll give you an example. For me, as a Black man, right? I'm holding accountable the degeneracy. We're talking about the degenerate behavior. It's like, hey, bro, we need to stop doing this. Like, what are we doing? Where are the parents at? Why aren't there 2-parent households? Why is it that a 19-year-old or a 10-year-old has access to a gun? How? Where's the parents at? What are the parents doing to the point that a 10-year-old even remotely close to a firearm? And then to let alone shoot a 7-month-year-old. What are we doing? Where are the parents at? What are they doing? So this is what I'm holding accountable. But again, you're going to have some individuals who are going to say, well, you cooning. No, I don't coon. I don't tap dance for nobody. I'll hold white people accountable just as much as I hold Black people accountable. I'll hold Hispanics accountable just as much as I'll hold the Black people accountable. I hold everybody accountable when they are doing wrong. That's the difference between me being just a Black man. I hold everybody accountable. It's not just subject to one group of people at all. And so just like when you had somebody else who came here earlier, they just talked about something. This is a monkey show, whatever. It's like, bro, stop being an idiot. Stop being dumb. If we're gonna have a conversation, let's have a real conversation. Let's try to move the needle forward. How can we get better? How can we improve? That's what this channel is about. We're gonna have conversations about a multitude of different topics, but we're also gonna come back to a real conversation. How does it lead to money, and how can we move the needle forward? That's what this channel is about. But that, again, it's about having the real conversation, regardless of how people feel about it. This is crazy.
Very early in this, but a preliminary investigation reveals that the scene of this shooting is contained to inside the home.
No one should be able to purchase a firearm without, purchasing the safety equipment that comes with it. That should just be a mandatory law.
Reporting in the Baden neighborhood, I'm Reagan DeTrolio, 5 on your side.
That's an awful story. You can learn more about gun locks and where to find them when you text the word locks to 314-425-5355.
A Baden neighborhood is now the scene of a deadly shooting investigation. Police say a 7-month-old girl was shot inside of this home here on the 8400 block of North Broadway just after 4 o'clock Friday afternoon.
We did not wait for an ambulance. The officers heroically put the child in the backseat of the police SUV. I was actually listening to the radio while one officer was driving. Another officer was performing life-saving care in the back seat. And the other nearby officers from across the city were shutting down roads to create a path to get that police car as quickly as possible to Children's Hospital.
Despite those efforts, the baby died, and police say the shooting happened inside the home while other family members were there. Investigators say the child didn't.
And they were there?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Not shoot herself. And this marks the second juvenile killed by gunfire this week and the 4th juvenile shooting victim in St. Louis City this week. According to St. Louis police, there have now been 24 juvenile shooting victims so far this year, matching the year-to-date total at this point in 2025. Violence intervention group Show Me Peace responded to the scene saying tragedies like this are preventable.
My heart broke. My heart honestly broke. And one thing, like, simple thing as a gun lock in the home could prevent this situation. And now a child does not have the chance to grow up and, become who knows what that child could have been.
The organization says it provides free gun locks year-round in an effort to prevent accidental shootings and keep firearms out of children's hands.
It's also important for us to spread awareness about the safety of guns and, to cut down situations like this. And one thing we do is we do offer gun locks. And even at 3108 Grand Boulevard at Mission STL.
Police say there is no threat to the public because the shooting was contained inside of the home, and investigators are now working to determine who is responsible and are asking anyone with information to come forward as they piece together exactly what happened.
Man, I'm really just trying to understand it. How can a 10-year-old, right? How can a 10-year-old get a gun and then the 7-month-old get shot and killed? How does that look? Somebody being very irresponsible, man. That's so sad, bro. That is so sad. That is so sad. That's so sad, bro. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure y'all hit the bell notification.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these 2 videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Make sure y'all supporting the channel too, man. Show your love with a super chat. Make sure y'all running the numbers up for your boy. But I do appreciate y'all engaging in the comments as well. For those of y'all that are here, if you haven't yet, make sure you like the live as well, so we can get more people in here, and it's going to continue to keep pushing out my content as well. So with all of that, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And also 99 cents for the membership, for the ENG membership as well. So make sure you tap into that. Yep, let's get these likes up. Let's get these likes up. I'm gonna have to make you a moderator, ambitions of a route. I might have to make you my moderator. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, let's go to this next topic. A female mayor gets 90 days. 90 days after child rape conviction. What child rape conviction? And she only get 90 days.
What? Yeah. Man, look at hell no.
So we're gonna get into this video. We're gonna get more context, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts and my opinions. All right. So let's rock out.
Remember this story of this small town mayor who got caught up doing some interesting things with her son's friends?
The teenage son of a disgraced mayor in Louisiana was overheard screaming that his mom, quote, effed his best friend after a drunken pool party where she allegedly had sex with a boy, according to reports.
Now for what's trending in true crime. A Louisiana mayor is out on bond after being accused of allegedly having sex with a
A Louisiana mayor abruptly resigns from office. Then within days of her resignation, she's booked into jail, accused of raping a minor while she was in office.
It's a very serious crime.
And the mayor was so bold with it, she even had her friends lying about it.
Roberts texted Clinton, quote, "I need you to deny it, please." Earlier in the day, Roberts' lifelong best friend, Jill Weaver, took the stand. She admitted to discussing keeping the alleged incident from police and texting her son, quote, "We lie till we die."
So her sentence has just come down, and you're going to be shocked with how light this is.
Shorty said...
Here's a message from our sponsor, Rumble Wallet. Let me clear something up right off the top, because anytime people hear crypto, folks immediately think scam. Rumble Wallet is not a cryptocurrency. I'm not selling you some random coin like the Haktua coin. I'm not telling you this is some get-rich-quick investment. Rumble Wallet is a platform, a digital wallet that lets you buy, hold, and use crypto more easily. Crypto was created so people could actually own and control their money instead of always relying on banks and third parties to hold it for them. And Rumble Wallet makes getting started simple. You can choose Bitcoin, you can choose stable coins tied to the US dollar, or you can either card, bank account. Use Rumble Wallet to tip your favorite creator on Rumble. All right, for those of you who've never heard about this story before, here's some quick background. This is the mayor of DeRuyter, Louisiana, 42-year-old Misty Roberts. Now, Misty Roberts is the first woman to hold the position of mayor in DeRuyter, Louisiana. Now, here's where things turn left. See, the Louisiana State Police started getting some real interesting reports that the mayor, the sitting mayor of this town, was doing some interesting things with young children. Now, as state police were investigating, the mayor decided to just up and resign. Mayor Roberts wrote, "For nearly 15 years, my love and passion for DeRuyter has been my foundation while serving as mayor. This role has rewarded me with many great relationships. I am humbled to have witnessed the hard work that it took a community to come together and overcome through unprecedented times. However, I must adjust my focus and priorities." Now, the letter didn't provide a reason for the mayor's decision to resign. Now, some thought the resignation was related to the police investigation, but no one was sure.
Council President Randy Larkin said the council is working to determine whether Clanton's leave is connected to allegations they have heard against her.
And the city council was considering launching their own investigation as well. But just minutes ago, during a city meeting, they announced they will not launch one of their own and instead opt for LSP to handle the investigation. So far, the state police has yet to release any details regarding the potential case. We'll continue to track this story as we learn more.
So the mayor has resigned. She thinks she's out of the woods, but the state police said, well, not so fast. We're going to charge you with a crime.
The State Police Special Victims Unit interviewed 2 juveniles, including the alleged victim. Both confirmed Roberts had sex with the one.
Bro, this is some wild shit, bro. Dog. Are you serious, man? But look, here we go. Here's another conversation. And you know what I talk about on the other side of the aisle, how they always talk about man bad, man bad. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Look at this degenerate shit right here. This is sick, man. And then on top of that, to add fuel to the fire, Shorty said, hey, listen, don't be saying nothing. I need you to keep quiet and you keep this to the chest until you die. Sickening. Sickening.
Juvenile while employed as mayor.
So with these witnesses, the police had probable cause to arrest the mayor. The court issued an arrest warrant on July 31st, 2024, and Roberts submitted herself the next day.
At the time of the arrest, Roberts' attorney issued this statement saying, "My client learned late last night of a warrant despite not being contacted to be interviewed prior to investigators obtaining the warrant. My client maintains her innocence."
So Mr. Roberts claimed innocence. But as you know, she was eventually convicted. And here's the evidence that the prosecution used against her at trial.
The teenage son of a disgraced mayor in Louisiana was overheard screaming that his mom, quote, effed his best friend after a drunken pool party where she allegedly had sex with a boy, according to reports. The wild alleged confrontation comes as damning witness testimony and new evidence continues to emerge in the trial of Misty Roberts, the 43-year-old former leader of DeRidder, Louisiana. Roberts allegedly committed the disturbing sex crime during a booze-filled pool party on July 20th, 2024, which she offered to provide alcohol for her son and his friends. Jurors heard from Jill Weaver, the best friend and former sister-in-law of Roberts, that she overheard the tense exchange between Roberts and her son after she was asked to come to the boozy party at around 8 p.m., according to the Lake Charles American Press. He was saying Roberts effed his best friend, Weaver recalled of the party at the Beauregard Parish County trial, in which she also claimed Roberts was the most drunk she'd ever seen her. Weaver would eventually text her own son to lie till you die about the chaotic night and admitted she spoke to
lie till you die. That's wild. Lie till you die. Don't say nothing. Keep them so close to the chest. Don't tell nobody nothing. Boy.
Roberts about how to keep the kids from reporting the alleged assault they witnessed to authorities. Roberts' son told investigators in an interview played for jurors that he saw his mom having sex with his pal through a crack in a window, but said later in court that he wasn't exactly sure what he saw that night, according to KPLC.
So now you have all that evidence, all that witness testimony. You got a live victim, you have her son testifying against her, even her friend has some information, but we haven't even gotten to the test.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not uncommon. That's the thing. It's not uncommon, especially in the South. It's not uncommon at all. Because some of those parents, they're like, hey, listen, man, as long as you at the house, as long as you ain't going nowhere, you cool. You cool where you at. And they be underage, they be getting into it. There have been plenty of parties that I have gone to when I was at a PWI, when I was going to a private school. There were many times I went to parties where everybody there was underage and they would sit up there drinking beer like crazy and the parents were buying it. They was like, listen, as long as they're at the house, we're good. I don't care.
Text messages yet.
The shocked son texted his mom that night, telling her that his sister was crying, according to messages presented by prosecutors. Roberts also texted her ex-husband Duncan Clanton, according to a criminal complaint obtained by the Daily Mail. Quote, I f***ed up and I respect you enough to tell you, and I need to, Roberts said. Her ex-husband went on to testify that she told him directly that she had sex with the minor and that the kids had caught them in the act. Clanton's replies from their text exchange were omitted from the court papers, which also revealed that the teen victim's mother texted Roberts, asking the former mayor whether she could be pregnant. Roberts replied that she was on birth control, but that the romp, quote, didn't reach that point in those few minutes to have that concern. Roberts then shared a screenshot of the exchange in a group chat with her friends, who urged her to take Plan B, an over-the-counter morning after pill. A DoorDash driver testified that he accepted a request from Misty C to purchase the emergency contraceptive and leave it at her front door.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you guys, the evidence in this case, to me, seems overwhelming. It seems like they got her. The text message is a lone barrier. And on top of that, you got her.
But here's my thing, though. With the kind of visibility that you have, do you think that, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all believe that people who have this type of visibility or have this sort of power in that sense, do y'all believe that they think that they have enough power where they can't be touched? Where they can do what they want to do without consequence? Or do y'all believe that they don't care? Or do y'all believe that they think that, well, I'm just having fun, ain't nobody gonna catch me anyway? Or could it just be the, what's the word I'm looking for? The thrill. The thrill of, ooh, I could possibly get caught, so that turns me on, so I'm gonna do something. But if I do get caught, I don't know how to come up out of this situation. What do y'all think? What up, streets? You think the alcohol was way more a factor? You think so? With the teenager? With the teenager though? Let's be real. Let's be real. You know right out the gate. You buying alcohol for underage children. Underage. And you mean to tell me that that's the factor? I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. Because you already went in knowing that these kids are underage and you bought alcohol for them anyway just to have fun. And so you partake in some drinks, and now you feeling a little frisky and you want to get frisky with a teenager. Nah, I ain't going. I'm not going. She pegged him? Nah, fam. Nah, I'm not going. Nope. She need to be served. She need to be served the same way a man would. In this same situation, that's taking advantage of. She's taking advantage. Yep. In this same situation, she need to see some jail time. She need to go sit down for a hot minute. Because now you're dealing with underage children. I don't care if she is a white woman. Send her ass to jail. Send her. Yes, they think they have enough political capital to steamroll any accuser. The thrill plays in part 2, I believe. But yeah, and that's what, and also where she messed up at, she told her ex. And the ex testified, said, yep, she told me that. So she played herself. She should have kept that one to the chest.
Son testified, the other victim testified. Like, you got it all. So I don't know why Misty Roberts didn't take a plea, but she went to trial and she was found guilty pretty quickly.
Well, breaking news tonight. The jury just found former DeRidder Mayor Misty Roberts guilty on 2 charges.
The jury deliberated for around an hour before finding Roberts guilty of indecent behavior with a juvenile and carnal knowledge of a juvenile.
After that verdict was read, emotions came out of the courtroom. The victim's mother began crying. She was asked to leave. And then Misty Roberts began sobbing. Ultimately, also, lawyers, after that happened, lawyers began discussing what was going to happen with her sentencing.
Now, okay, Misty Roberts went down.
Now, on the other side of the aisle, speaking from a man's perspective, if you are who they're claiming the victim is, because I mean, yes, lawfully, yes, he is lawfully and morally, he is the victim, right? When we take our own personal views out of it, right? Yes, lawfully and morally, he is the victim. However, the person in me, I'm like, fam, you got a chance to bust down the mayor as a teenager? Hey, dog, not only am I keeping this to the chest, I'm not telling nobody. Do you understand? Listen. We're gonna have a real conversation. Let's have a real conversation. So we didn't got the legal stuff out the way. Yep, send her to jail. You know, she knows she wrong. She shouldn't have did it. Yep, she got the consequences that she deserved, right? Now on the other side of the aisle, you know, the street mentality. And mind you, when I say street, I'm not talking about ghetto mentality, right? I'm not talking about hood mentality. I'm talking about just being a man, the way that we think, you know, being that I was once 17 years old, I was once 15 years old when we saw that, you know, that mother next door, that fine mom's like, ooh, we were some horn dogs, right? And so the fact that you got a mayor, and mind you, the mayor, she not ugly. So the fact that you got an opportunity to bust down the mayor, Boy, I'm not, man, listen, I don't know what's wrong with y'all new kids today. I'm not telling a soul. Do you know what I'm trying? I'm trying to milk that. I'm trying to milk that situation. Nigga, I got the mayor. That means I got the mayor. I'm busting down the mayor. That means I can ask her for anything. I got her wrapped around my finger. I could be asking her for anything. Listen, I need you to throw me a monthly allowance of X, Y, and Z on a consistent basis. I need that. What job? Do you understand the amount of doors I could possibly get in with this mayor? Y'all be, man, I don't know what's, and look, mind you, it's always the white kids. They don't understand it. They don't understand it, man. They don't understand the level of visibility. Man, boy, the level of leverage I would have. Hey, it's blackmail, but what you gonna do? I'm 17. I'm busting it down. I'm 17 years old. If I'm busting you down first, I'm keeping it to the chest. I'm holding that to the chest, big dog. I'm holding that to the chest. I'm not telling nothing. But here's the thing. I'm not gonna blackmail her though. I wouldn't blackmail her. I'll just say, listen, you having a good time. I'm having a good time. I love to keep this going. Now, I'll never tell nobody, so you ain't got to worry about me because I don't pillow talk. I would love it, if you were able to, shoot me an allowance on a monthly basis. I'm not asking every 2 weeks, but you shoot me a little bread here and there, just to help me out a little bit because I got this situation going on. I'm really not trying to go work at the grocery store and push carts and baskets. I really don't want to do that. So can you help me out? And 9 times out of 10, because you putting that thing on her, guess what? She gonna help you out. I ain't gonna say nothing about, oh, if you don't, I'm gonna tell. Nah, I'm not gonna tell regardless. I'm not gonna tell either way. I'm not telling either way. I'm not blackmailing you because I'm not gonna hit her with the, well, if you don't do this, then I'm gonna do this. I'm not. I'm just gonna say, listen, this will never leave this space. Whatever we got going on stays between me and you forever, regardless if you tell me no after I ask this question. However, I would love it if you were to, throw me some breadcrumbs over here, man. I'm not asking for millions of dollars. Just throw me a little bread. I'm 17, got things I want to do. Am I tripping? Am I wrong? Am I wrong though? I'm not pushing it. Listen, I ain't threatening. I said, listen, your secret is safe with me. Trust me, nobody will know about this. Nobody. And then I'll put it back on her. Say, as long as you know how to hold water and you know how to keep secret shit, you ain't got to worry about me. I'm good. I'm good over here on this end. I'll never tell nobody I'm doing this because that's a personal secret between me. Boy, I'm taking that to the grave. Taking that to the grave. Do you know the amount of businesses that I'm about to start opening up? The amount of contracts that I'm going to get before other people, the amount of contracts that I'm going to get using the mayor. Like, hey, mayor, listen. I got this situation. I got this contract that I'm trying to get. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a legit business. No, it's going to be legit business. But, there's some, again, this is where the leverage comes in. You've been putting that thing on her. So, of course, she already going to have dreamy eyes for you. So, damn near everything you ask for, she going to say yes to. So, you take advantage of it. It's like, all right, shit. Well, look, I got this contract. You know what I'm saying? I've been focusing on this business. Then I'm really focused on trying to build this thing over here, but I'm having issues. I'm having obstacles that I got to overcome. And this is the one thing that's holding me back. I really need to get this contract. Is there any kind of way or anybody that you can push me toward or point me to that can get me over this hump? Do you have certain contacts? Man, you crazy, man. I'm taking full advantage of that opportunity. I don't know what they talking about. Me getting money. No, it ain't. Me getting money out of it is not wrong. Absolutely. She already doing wrong. So I might as well take advantage of the opportunity that I have at hand. Why not? So you telling me, man, you crazy. I'm getting all the opportunity up out of her. I'm using that as leverage. I got an appointment, but George. Hey, I appreciate you, Rusty. Appreciate you for popping in, big dog. I hope you subscribe too. See, yeah, it's going to be cutting grass at all city property. Man, who you telling? Like, man, how he getting all these contracts? Hey, man. Like, hey, man, listen. Listen. You know the same BS that a lot of them be telling them. Listen, man, just hard work, man. Hard work, bro. Just never giving up and believing in yourself. You know the vague answer. They ain't really give you no substance. They just say, hey, man, just work hard, bro, and just be consistent. What? That's it?
She's found guilty. It's all up to the judge to give her how much time. Now, we're talking about 2 felonies of doing some very interesting things with children. So at least 5 years at a minimum. And I'm thinking 10 years because it was so obvious, right? There's no question what happened here. This woman did something that was egregious to a child. So felony counts, years in prison, that seems fair. And really think about this. If this was a man we were talking about doing this to a female victim, I don't think it would be any question we're talking about years in prison. But here is what the judge did in this particular case. Now, before we get to the clip, tell me if you're talking 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever your number is, put it in the comment section, because here's what happened.
Yeah, Cynthia, Misty Roberts was sentenced to a 5-year suspended sentence and a mandatory 90 days in jail, meaning that she'll only have to spend 90 days in jail starting today.
You heard that right. The judge sentenced this.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Bro, she got... Only 90 days in jail. And guess what? In the type of spot she gonna be into, it's gonna be a cakewalk for her. A cakewalk. It's gonna be like going on vacation for her for them 90 days. And all she gotta do is pay a $5,000 fine. That's nothing to her. To the mayor? Oh, that's nothing. That's what, listen, you ain't lying, fam. You are not, man, you are not lying. That's what money and influence get you, dog. But look, hey, listen. This is why we gotta get this money. This is why we gotta get this money, bro, because I think Anton said it best. Don't do no crimes if you ain't got no money. Don't do crimes if you don't have no money. For real. Oh yeah, 1,000%. Oh, 1,000%. Because guess what? She know people. She like, listen, listen, I got 90 days in here. Listen, who you need me to talk to? She finna be having, but she about to be a consultant in the jailhouse. Now listen, what you got going on? Okay, listen, I know such and such, so you know I can give him I'll make sure I reach out to him once I do X, Y, and Z. Boy, just to get the commissary. She finna have a cakewalk for the 90 days. That 90 days finna fly by for her. Oh, they finna, oh man. Oh my God. Yep. If you don't got no type of leverage or no type of money, you done for. So again, if you don't have no money, don't do no crimes. Now, I'm not condoning doing crimes. I'm not condoning what she did. That shit is 110% wrong. It's 1,000% wrong on both sides. It's nasty. It's crazy. Care if you're a woman or man, you shouldn't be out here throwing it back for a teenager. You should not be doing it. Absolutely not. I know I was up there being funny, being goofy, talking about if I was a 17-year-old. Yep, and that's still true to this day. If I was a 17-year-old busted down the mayor, 1,000%, I'm taking full advantage of that. But that doesn't mean that it's right. It's still wrong. 110%. 110%. 1,010% wrong. On both sides of the aisle. And so because that she has that level of influence and she has that level of power, she got 5 years and only going to spend 90 days of that 5 in jail. Wow. And no, it ain't. And no, it's not a white thing. It's a power thing. That's a visibility thing. That's a money thing. Because if you got money, whether you black, orange, yellow, or green, if you got money, you got that kind of influence and power, you can do the same thing in most cases. Exactly. It's wrong, but it's also a reality in the justice system. That's a fact. That's a fact. My dog, what's up with you? Facts.
This woman who did this thing to a child and was concerned that she may even be pregnant, 90 days for this particular criminal sexual act.
Now, we just heard in from the
particular criminal.
Yeah, she cute too. Oh yeah, she gonna be straight. She gonna be straight. This wrong, bro, but it's so wrong. But it's so wrong. It's so wrong, bro.
Sexual act.
Now, we just heard in from the defense who left us a statement that according to Louisiana good time credit or Louisiana law, she may also be eligible for some.
She gonna fall right back on her feet. Sad to say. She's still gonna listen. There's gonna be no harm, no foul in this situation. Regardless of how wrong she is, she's still gonna fall right back on her feet. Misty was a problem 15 years ago. 1000%. I'm pretty sure Misty done some egregious things. Yep. She gonna fall right back on her feet, dog.
Sort of good time credit.
Good time credit. So she may not even have to do the 90 days. This is insane. Matter of fact, here are some members of that community saying, what the heck happened here?
Slap on the wrist for a child predator, because at the end of the day, that is exactly what it is. That was 100% the first word that came to mind, is that we were just discussing.
Yep, she is a criminal, 1000%. But it don't take away from the reality of the situation. She finna fall right back on her feet. Listen, man. Listen. We all know she wrong. 1000%. You should not be having relations with the teenager at all. For that matter, putting yourself in a situation to do it in the first place. 110%. However, based off of what we see and what we know, based off of money, and power and control, as well as Shorty is appealing to the eye too. Oh, yeah, she gonna fall right back on her feet fast. That's the reality of it. Nothing bad is gonna happen. She's still gonna be getting bread or somewhere. She's still gonna be tied to the city somehow. She may not be the mayor, but she's still gonna be tied to it one way or the other. 1000%. 1000%. If she don't land on her feet, she will at least land on her knees for sure. Next thing you know, you're gonna see it with the OnlyFans.
And let down.
If she was an authority figure in a high position, she gets a slap on the hand. What if I did that?
Oh, you done.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you done, big. Oh, you done, big dog. If you done it, they're gonna put you under the jail. 1000%. You going under the jail. And then 6 feet deeper. Because you ain't got no influence, you ain't got no power. Then on top of that, you ain't appealing to the eye for the women. Oh nah, ain't nothing happen. You ain't get nothing. You get nothing. Now, if you had some power, and you had some money, then you had a little bit of swagger to you and some smoothness to you, maybe you might get a little. You still gonna do some time for sure, but you will get less time than you would versus you just being a nobody.
I'd be getting maxed out. The sentence I'd get maxed out no matter what, without a shadow of a damn doubt.
That's an insult to the actual victim and the family.
Now, how does someone who
I don't think that's an insult to the victim. You know what I think what's going on with that victim, that so-called victim? I think he over there happy like, man, I bust down the mayor, bro. I bust down the mayor. I don't believe for 1 second that a 17-year-old is down in the dumps because he had sexual relations with the mayor. Come on. Real, we being honest here. We being real here. We having a real life conversation. We're not just saying, oh, well, you know, he's a victim. Listen, we calling him a victim just because by the law he is a victim, and by moral standards, yeah, he's a victim because she's a lot older than he is, and he's a 17-year-old. And you know, everybody like to use the, oh, well, his brain isn't fully developed, even though he know what he was doing. Once we get past that and we come back to reality, he ain't tripping on that. He gonna forever hold in his heart and in his mind, like, listen, I'm doing better than all y'all because ain't now one of y'all ever bust down the mayor. I did. You feel me? More upset the fact that now all this stuff is on the news. She got caught up, he got caught up, and now his face is a little bit more visible. Well, not his face, but her face is. Now he probably potentially messed up an opportunity. Who knows? But I don't believe for 1 second that he tripping about it. That he tripping about the fact that she busted open for him. I don't believe it.
It's convicted of this, get 90 days in jail. I just don't know. But here's what she said to the judge that convinced him that, hey, 90 days in jail may be more than enough.
I had it all and chose myself over everyone else. I'm sorry for the embarrassment I've caused my family. She also said her actions after the incident were driven by fear of losing her children.
This was such a shocking sentence.
Look at her. She gonna fall right on her feet, bro.
Even the local DA was like, I don't know what's going on. Don't blame me.
The Burbank District Attorney released a statement saying in part, I don't think the sentence reflects the severity of the crimes. It doesn't, in my opinion, represent the values of Burbank Parish. Roberts' attorney also released a statement saying in part, the judge gave the case a thorough review and that Roberts was, quote, sincere, strong, and apologetic in her address to the court. Roberts, the first female mayor of DeRidder, is spending tonight in jail. Her attorneys say they plan to appeal the conviction. We will keep you updated as that process moves forward.
I don't know what she's appealing because you're appealing a 90-day sentence and essentially you're free for the rest.
Bro, look. Just look at her, bro. Yeah, y'all really think she? Come on. Are we gonna be real? Are we gonna have a real conversation, or are we just playing? We gonna have a real conversation, or we just playing?
Your life after doing this horrendous crime, and if you are to get it overturned and have to go back to trial, a new judge may say, well, hold on, that 90-day thing was good back then, but now you got to do maybe a decade in prison. In this case, I don't know why she's appealing because the evidence seems overwhelming to me. But let me know how you feel in the comment section. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to all that great YouTube stuff. My name.
That's correct, man. That's wild, man. That's some wild stuff right there, dog. Shout out to Nate the lawyer as well for giving us that information as well. Shout out to him. But let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Where we at? Speaking of jail time, Speaking of the jail, oh, let me read this real quick. If you're looking for, oh no, I ain't worried about that. He's more say he got to call you up. Facts. All right, so let's keep this train rolling. Let's go to this next topic. Speaking of jail, Zaire Wade, who is Dwyane Wade's oldest son, was arrested for domestic violence. So, don't know why, but I guess we're gonna get the information, and then we're gonna give our thoughts and our opinions. All right. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you support the channel with a super chat. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Former NBA player Dwyane Wade's eldest son, Zaire Wade, has been charged with felony domestic violence, criminal threats, and false imprisonment after police initially arrested him on those allegations, as well as an allegation of attempted murder. According to the Burbank Police Department's daily arrest logs viewed by E! News June 26, the 24-year-old was arrested in Burbank, California on June 21st after police responded to a local residence for a reported domestic violence incident. However, the Burbank Police Department later confirmed to E! News that Zaire was charged only with felony domestic violence, criminal threats, and false imprisonment. Police also said an emergency protective order, or EPO, was obtained. After being booked, Zaire posted $50,000 bail and was released later that day. Burbank police said no plea has been entered at this time and that detectives will present the case to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for filing consideration. E! News has reached out to reps for Zaire Wade's family for comment, but has not yet heard back.
Dwyane Wade's oldest son, Zaire Wade, is in some serious legal trouble right now. And listen, this is not one of them little internet rumor stories. This is police involved. This is a 5:30 in the morning call. This is a woman allegedly found injured. And now this is sitting in the hands of prosecutors. According to reports, Zaire Wade, 24 years old, was arrested Sunday, June 21st, after police were called to a home in Burbank, California, over a domestic violence situation. Now, here's where it gets heavy. NBC Los Angeles reports police were called around 5:30 a.m. after somebody called 911 about a woman screaming. When officers got there, they reportedly found Zaire Wade at the home along with a woman who allegedly had lacerations on her face and body. Now, paramedics did check the woman out, but according to the report, she was not transported to the hospital. But still, lacerations to the face and body, a woman screaming, police showing up at 5:30 in the morning, that's already a serious situation. Zaire was then arrested and booked on 3 allegations: domestic violence, criminal threats, and false imprisonment. And this is not just a slap on the wrist type of headline. His bond was reportedly set at $50,000, and he bonded out later that same day. An emergency protective order was also reportedly issued for the woman, whose identity has not been released publicly. And the NBC Los Angeles reported another detail that made people look twice. A handgun was allegedly recovered from the home after the arrest. Now, to be clear, Zaire has not been convicted of anything. These are allegations and the case is still developing. But Burbank police reportedly said detectives are now preparing to present the case to Los Angeles County District.
Why do you think it's always... What do these people be doing? What's going on with Dwyane Wade's kids, man? No, I'm not saying that he's guilty of anything, because like I said, we got to give him his due. We don't know. We don't have the full evidence of everything that's going on. You know, they always got to make it a little spicy. Oh, there was a handgun found. Okay, and your point is what? Just because a handgun was there, a lot of people have handguns. A lot of people have handguns to protect their home. They have it in the house, so that don't make it any spicier. But does it look like it was used? Nobody got shot. They didn't hear any gun sounds. They didn't hear any gunshots or anything like that. So I don't even know why that's it. I don't even know why that's a thing. But what's going on with his kids though, man? You got one who's sassier than ever. And then now you got your oldest. out here involved in the DV case. And again, he hasn't been convicted of anything, but what's going on, bro? What is going on?
The attorney's office. That means the DA will decide whether official charges move forward. And this is going viral because Zaire is not just any 24-year-old. This is Dwyane Wade eldest son. This is somebody who grew up around one of the most respected NBA families.
He did it! Dwyane Wade with the steal and the game winner! Do you believe that?
This is somebody who had his own basketball career, including time overseas with the Cape Town Tigers. So now the internet is watching this story closely because the details are serious and the Wade family has not publicly commented yet. People in NBC Los Angeles both reportedly reached out to Zaire and the Wade family for comments. So right now, here's where we stand. A 5:30 a.m. police call, a woman allegedly found with laceration, domestic violence allegations, criminal threats, false imprisonment, a protective order, a $50,000 bond, and prosecutors now have to decide what happens next. Again, this is still an allegation, but this is a major developing story.
How does it feel to be retired?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know, dog. I don't know what to make of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope he didn't point the gun at her either. I hope that's not the case. I want to know what happened. We don't know. We don't know the full story, so I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna say that he is guilty or he isn't. All I'm gonna say is we just have to wait for more evidence to come out in order for us to know what actually happened. Because again, it's hard to just take one person's side. I'm not gonna do that because we don't have all the evidence and what happened. So can't do that. But gotta do better, man. Stop putting yourselves. A lot of times, y'all just be putting yourselves in these positions, dog. I don't know how. At 5:30 in the morning, what we y'all doing? At 5:30 in the morning, what y'all arguing about? It better not be because you was talking to another chick. That better not be it. So, I guess we'll just have to see, man. We'll just have to see. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure y'all hit the bell notification. Let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all think he's guilty? Do y'all think he's not guilty? Or are you on the side that I'm on is like, listen, we just gonna wait until more evidence comes out? Wrong one.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Players mess up, players mess up, players mess up. Let me go back and read some of these comments real quick. He said, nobody cares when this happens to boys, all kinds of double standards. Yeah, it happens. There are double standards on both sides, man. It happens. Some that benefit men, some that benefit women. Sometimes you just got to be able to adjust it and move accordingly, bro. Women have been getting slapped on the wrist for sleeping with teens. Yep. A lot of times. Many of times, actually. Yep, it is a serious charge. 3 stories, his, hers, and the truth. Exactly. That's why we waiting. We just gonna wait. We're gonna wait it out to see what happened. Based on the time, it seems like she woke him up out of his sleep, probably slapped him to wake him up, and he snapped. Yeah, that could be it too. Probably saw something on his phone or something. She up there snooping around, being nosy, trying to find trouble, and the next thing you know, she found it. And now she upset. That can definitely be a thing. For sure. Can definitely be a thing for sure. Speaking of which, kind of glad that one popped up. Where we at? Oh, yeah. Let's go to this one first before we go to that one. So Kanye West's daughter. Northwest, man. She was out in the streets and with face piercings. 13-year-old. I think they were out in Paris Fashion Week, for Paris Fashion Week. And boy, let me tell you, when I show y'all this, y'all gonna be like, bro, what is going on? So let's go ahead and get into it, and then we'll give our thoughts and opinions. So let's go ahead and rock out. That better not be real. That better not be real.
Hey, everybody. I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not. There's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying?
So let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Who's responsible? Who's responsible here? Whether those piercings are real or not, who's responsible? Who do y'all think is the culprit? Right? Because we all know 50-50 custody ain't 50-50 custody. That means typically when it leans more towards the mom, that means the mom pretty much has the kids more often, not more often, often. That means Monday, typically, I think every other weekend, typically, right? So that's typically what the 50-50 custody is. Every other weekend is probably when the child goes with the father. Every other weekend. And then sometimes when they got some things going on the day that the father has supposed to have the kids, they end up doing something else and they end up not spending time with the dad again. So now that's only one weekend out the month. Sometimes things like that happen. So with that being said, who do y'all think is the issue? I didn't even say it yet. Bull City already put it out there for y'all. I blame Kim. I blame the grandmother. And I blame any other entity that's around them that's giving them this type of influence. There's no way. There's absolutely no way in my heart of hearts, in my soul, in my spirit that I'm finna allow my 13-year-old daughter to walk around like this. I don't care if it is Fashion Week. Now I get it. Some people gonna say, well, you ain't making that kind of money, so you can't say how you can't tell them to raise their kids. Listen, bro, a kid is a kid at the end of the day, regardless of how much money you make. I would want my kid to remain a kid as long as I possibly can. You 13, you ain't a grown-up dog. You 13, you still a kid. You just barely graduated from playing with dolls. No. Absolutely not. Spikes around your neck, blue hair. Man, if you don't get out of my face with that, I don't care what nobody, man, I don't care what nobody says. Absolutely not. No 13-year-old should be dressed like this on any level. The only exception, and I bet, and listen, I'll be teetering on the line when I say this. The only exception will be Halloween. And mind you, it'll be a wig. I would not dye her hair. It'll be a wig. And again, like I said, I was still teeter on the line with this look because I don't know anybody of influence with their kid. Nah, nope. What up, K Cool? What's good with you? I don't know anybody. I don't. I'm not dressing my 13-year-old like this. And the nails? Man, no, I'm not doing that. She's like Molly Santana. I'm not, bro. I just want to let me just play this again. That's what I'm trying to.
Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not. I ain't going, bro. I ain't going. They are. Boy, if you don't get your arms off my 13-year-old child, dog, I don't care who you are. Don't put your arm around her. If you're gonna take a picture, stand right beside her. I don't care who you are, boy. You better put your arm. Nope. They tarnishing this kid, man. And this is another example. And again, let me go ahead and preface it by saying we understand that it's not all. Let me preface it again. It's not all. But in a lot of cases, this is what happens in a single parent household, man. I don't know who that dude is. But this is what happens. This is what happens on a consistent basis when the father who wants to be in their child's life and who wants to be an active father, there's a difference between how that kid is represented versus how the kid is not. And this is a clear representation that her mother is not doing what she's supposed to do. She's 13, dog. My 13-year-old should not be looking like she's 20-something years old. I need you to be looking like a little girl. Because you're 13. I don't care about what was happening in the medieval times when, oh, you can do 13, dog. 13. There is no way. You got a lot of life to live. You're going to have plenty of time to be an adult. You're going to have plenty of time. You're an adult longer than you are a child. Embrace the childhood. Enjoy your childhood. You're going to have a lot of time to be an adult, man. And I think more parents need to teach their kids that. Listen, you're going to have a lot of years to be an adult. And there are going to be times where you wish you were still that teenager again. Where you wish you were still a kid, where you didn't have no care in the world. You didn't have to worry about bills. You didn't have to worry about anything else. All you need to worry about is just being a child and enjoying your childhood. I don't like this at all. I don't. Not even a little bit. I don't care. I don't care how much money their parents make. I don't care what level of visibility that they have. I don't care. This is almost like exploitation. This is this close to being exploitation of your child. That close. And I'm even close enough to sit here and say that it is. Why you got 13-year-old around all these adults? Fashion Week? No. And if you gonna listen, and if we're gonna go to Fashion Week, you ain't finna wear that. And best believe you're gonna be with me and you're gonna be with your mother the entire time. Not happening. This is crazy, bro. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all, man. But hey, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. And make sure you hit the bell notification. And just let me know what y'all think in the comments, bro. Because I don't like it. I don't.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these two videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Facts. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Yeah, K-Coop. I don't know who that is. I don't. I have no clue. What's good with it? Firestarter 078. What's popping with you? 31 in the stream. Let's go get those likes up. That's what I'm saying. Get those likes up. I will never let my daughter dress that way, not even if she's 21. You feel me? You feel me? Listen, if you still on my insurance, I still got control. If you still on my insurance, I still got control. I don't care about you being able to drink at the age of 21. You still under my insurance. No, you're not finna wear that out. I don't care how much you cry. Listen, you're 21. I don't care what nobody say, you still a kid. You ain't grown yet. Take that shit off. Her mother is failing her. This child doesn't understand the world playing an adult. That's what I'm saying. They don't. She ain't even tipped the iceberg yet. Now, the one, if I had to point to any of the sisters, right, who I would say that's remotely close to doing what they're supposed to do with their children, is Kylie. It's the only one. It's the only one. If I had to choose out of the sisters, if I had to choose, I'd have a choice. If I had to choose, I would say Kylie. Facts. Is that a Spike Dog collar? Yup, it is. Courtney, in March 2015, I was coming back home to LA and Kim. Word? See? Need to stop treating these kids like adults and they think they have adult rights. That's a fact. Kobe's girls would never. Man, who you telling? They would never. They would never. That's a great representation of an athlete, of a mega star. And the daughters are well behaved. They behind the scenes. They kicking it. They ain't doing too much. They ain't out here in the camera that way. They don't have a ton of visibility. They just doing what they're supposed to do, taking care of moms, making sure moms are straight. Kim left North in the stroller next to me while she was posting. For real? No, you should have took a picture of that. You should have took a picture of that. Not a single video of miracle on any Christian channel. Not a single video of a miracle on a Christian. Well, y'all be saying some random stuff. Y'all do. I'll never forget it. She left her child in the stroller next to the person, and she don't know why I'm posting. That's wild. That is wild. That's egregious. And Couples girls have been through real trauma, and they still out here acting out in these streets. So that's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you support the channel with the super chats, my good people. Excuse me. So I wanna switch over real quick because I thought this was pretty interesting. I came across this video. I didn't watch the full thing, but I saw the title. I was like, this might be something interesting to talk about. So their podcast is called the Bailey Wade Podcast. And this topic is more so about, he said he retired his wife at 31. They left corporate and the military life. So they were in the military, they were corporate America, and he retired his wife at 31. All right. So I thought this is pretty interesting. I want to see what they're talking about. and then I will give my thoughts and opinions. Now, this video is a little bit lengthy, so we might be jumping around just a tad bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Roberts and I would be in our 60s.
We are about to talk about why, how, what went into the thought process of me not only retiring you last year, but of us both going all in on entrepreneurship.
I was relentless when it came to corporate. I just started to be like, something has to go.
You came home crying.
I literally actually think I was in like a depression.
At the end of 2022, God put it on my heart. I felt it so strongly to start posting content. Literally in 2 months, I went from about 800 followers to 50,000 followers. They was like, hey bro, we'll pay you $700 to post a 1 minute video. And I was like, what? Yo, we're doing so well with this that we could potentially walk away. What if a recession happens? What if social media goes away? How do we keep this up?
I did have, I feel like, a little bit of an identity crisis, like at the beginning. What I realized as I got older, and I think also as our marriage started to get into a better place, I was like, no, my priority is I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good mom. And then I leaped with him because I trusted him.
We did take a leap of faith, but before we took that leap, we laid down the foundation. We had something to leap onto. Once I released.
Unbiasedly raw, J Ben, you heard that? They laid down the foundation. They laid down the foundation. That boy is good.
And I walked into it, man, everything started to open up.
We don't believe that the perfect marriage exists.
Facts, but intentional ones do.
And over the years,
we've learned that it takes more than just love to build a life together.
This is the show where we share what's working.
This that content creator. I've seen their content before. This is the content creator where they make posts about I think they do like a meeting every year to figure out their goals for the year and the things that the obstacles and milestones that they need to hit financially with content creation, different things like that. Yeah. I think I've seen their content before. Okay.
For us. This is
the Bailey Way. What's up, family? It's your boy Darrell.
And I'm Samantha.
And this is the Bailey Way. All right, we got a fun topic today.
I'm excited about this one.
We are about to talk about why, how, what went into the thought process of me not only retiring you last year, but of us both taking a risk and walking away from our corporate jobs, our military jobs, our for sure retirement, our for sure benefits, and going all in on entrepreneurship. Yeah, social media, being creators. So we want to take people through that journey.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the fears, all of it. But before we get into it, how does it feel to be retired?
So good.
Yeah.
This is like the dream that I didn't even know that I had. Like, I'm so happy. It's so nice, first of all, that I'll have to set an alarm.
Yeah, fact.
You guys, I am not a morning person, so I have no business setting an alarm to press snooze a million times anyway. But even just to own our days, and now that we're both at home, it's so nice to like, at first I was a little nervous, like, dang, we're going to literally be spending all of our time together, but I love it.
Yeah, well, also it's like that, but it's not like that because we're both extremely busy. Like with the businesses, with you're getting ready to launch a new business, which we'll get into. But even just this morning, like waking up and walking the dogs on a Monday morning.
On a Monday morning,
and going
the
to the
weather
park.
is beautiful. Like,
crazy.
Yeah. So it's just been all around so positive. And obviously now thinking about starting a family, like now I can kind of see like how all of the pieces fit together. Whereas before, when we were working 9 to 5s, it was like, how the heck are we supposed to do all of this?
Yeah.
Plus raise a family. No,
for sure. And I think like the crazy thing is like looking back, there were so many fears we had, so much anxiety. It's interesting how God pivoted us into this season of our lives and positioned us this way. And it's all, I always tell people, man, like if one door closes, just know that that door is not for you.
Yeah, literally it is divine protection.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. But let's take it back because now we're in a position to where we are doing really well
Yeah.
on social media. We're doing really well with our business. We own our time. We're traveling more. We're doing a lot of speaking engagements. We're living a life that we did not see for ourselves right now, that we didn't see this coming. But let's go back to the start because this was not the plan.
This was not the plan. Like I said, this is the dream I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
I thought retirement would be in our 60s.
No, facts. Yeah, exactly. So let's go back. We met online. We talked about all that good stuff. When we finally moved in together and we started our lives, we both had a very clear direction. I was going to do 20 years in the military and you were going to climb the corporate ladder. But I want to ask you this. What was that beginning journey looking like for you? Like, what was your mindset? Like, take us through. Let's start there.
So I finished my bachelor's. I did my bachelor's of public relations, and my goal was like, I just want to work for a huge corporation and climb the corporate ladder. Like, you know, I wanted to be the chief marketing officer of like some travel company. And I was like, you guys, I was a grinder. Like, I was relentless when it came to corporate. Like, I was like the star employee. Like, my bosses loved me because I was just such a hard worker. And so when I finished my co-op at the Better Business Bureau in Nova Scotia, a position opened up at the perfect time in Tucson, Arizona. So I basically just went from Nova Scotia, started working at the same business in Tucson. And
let's give context though, because this is at a time where I had just gotten my job and my location in the military.
Yeah.
And you were getting ready to move from your home country in with me.
Yeah.
And so God aligned that perfectly because we did not know where I was going to get stationed at. We got stationed in Tucson, and by happenstance or by the favor of God, as I would put it, the same job you had in Nova Scotia during that time was available
in Tucson. So I had applied for that job. It was for a communications manager or specialist or something. And my boss back in Nova Scotia talked to the CEO of the one in Arizona. And I did not end up getting the communications specialist job, but they did say, hey, we have this huge business award show that happens every spring, and we need somebody to basically run it for us. Like, we need someone to start planning it, get the sponsorships, get the signups, all the things. There's a lot that goes into planning. It's like planning a wedding. Like, it is so much work. I knew nothing about Tucson, no one in Tucson, but I was like, absolutely, I would love to. Like, let me just get my foot in the door. This would be a great way to meet people. And it was a contract position. Now, the only thing was, because I was moving to the States and I was going through my immigration process, I could not get paid. And so for 4 months, I worked every single day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, planning this award
9 to 5,
show.
no ma'am. No, I remember coming home, you were still working.
Yeah, I was like, I really just wanted to do a great job. I would have meetings all over the city, like with different businesses. We had one car, like, and
all for free.
All for free. I did it all for free, but I worked so hard. And anyway, that award show ended up being amazing. But what happened was it was a contract position. So at the end of that contract, when the award show happened, I needed to get another job. And by that time, I finally had my green card and I could work. And so this position came up and it was perfect for me, also in Tucson. And it was for a huge, I'll say, telecommunications company. And it was for their public relations team.
Yeah.
So I applied for that.
We were so excited when you got the job.
We were so excited.
How old were we? We were 23?
No, this was the same year we got married. I got that job. So we were 22.
So 22. Yeah.
And I remember being like, $48K? Like, I'm going to make $48,000? And I was so excited. So I applied for that job and I got it. And I felt like my dream was coming true. Like, I had finally landed this big like corporation, this big corporate job, and all I was going to do was climb the corporate ladder. So I would be like part of all these clubs at work, and just like, I was like the best one on the team. I was like, I'm going to outwork everybody. And I did such a good job.
Do you remember we would drive up to your actual job and look at it before you even like started on day one?
And I would just look at it and be like, I'm going to work there. Like, oh my gosh. Okay. So, yeah, I worked really hard in that job, and I loved that job. Like, I had so much fun at that job. But about 2 years into that position, they were like, hey, we just built this new like skyscraper in, another city. It was actually in Philadelphia. And they were like, we're relocating the team to Philadelphia. We'll pay for everyone's relocation, but basically we have like in 3 months, I think this was
anything could happen.
Because you put your whole life and like it's over. I felt like the rug was just like pulled.
Tucson to work for them, but she will work until her eyes cannot stay open anymore.
Like all day, every day at that, because there was a company posted a job they needed a recruit.
Got it. Even through to the end, to the very end. Like you put everything. We were, when we first moved in together, we were actually staying with a friend on base while our apartment was getting ready to be.
I forgot about that.
Yep. So we were staying with a friend on base.
Your friend. I had just met her literally as I was moving into her house.
It was funny. It wasn't even a friend. It was just like, it was an airman who was helping us out. You know what I mean? And so at that time, now look back, like that family ended up being good friends of ours. But we were living with that couple on base until our apartment got ready. And at that time, let me see, man, my paycheck, I kid you not, every 2 weeks was about $500 every 2 weeks. I remember. So we literally like $500 every 2 weeks. And maybe more like 800, somewhere around there. And so we got our apartment, moved up to Dove Mountain. We're living in our apartment together. And my focus at that time was to do a 20-year military career and retire. Because the whole point of me joining was because I came from so much instability that the military was a life hack for me. It was stability. I was never going to miss a paycheck. We was going to have health insurance, all of the benefits, like the VA benefits, all this stuff. So my goal was just to climb the ranks. And so I was going after every club that I possibly can. I became the president of the Booster Club, the vice president of the ACE Council, which is the Airmen Committed to Excellence Council. Then I became the president of the Airmen's Committed to Excellence Council.
Every weekend, Darrell would be like volunteering for this, leading this, planning the, like you were busy every weekend.
Every weekend we was out there grinding. And so in the Air Force, in order to make rank, you have to test. So a part of it is how you show up in, your esprit de corps, right? Like your motivation, how you're showing up at work, how you do your work. And then the other part of it is testing your Air Force knowledge, how well you know the history, how well you know the job.
He was in the Air Force,
I was constantly like studying. And so and then, then I became an NCO and I had recommendations. I was busting in. And so people were like looking like, who is she talking to? Right? And dudes on the court. It was crazy.
Yeah, I just walk in and I'm like,
the only woman.
I'm like, babe, wait, come here. And I think before he even got over, I was like, you got it.
But everybody was staring at. So people were looking at you like, oh Lord, who baby mama done ran in here? Who baby mama? Hey, somebody in trouble. Bro, you got this 5-foot woman running into the gym, jumping up and down, talking about, dang, you got in. And so people were like looking like, who is she talking to? Right? And I didn't realize, you know what I'm saying? And then a couple of my guys were like, hey, bro, that's Samantha. And I was like, what? So I turn around and see you and you're over there crying. So initially I'm like,
exactly. See, I was waiting for somebody to catch it. I wasn't going to say anything yet. This is what it looks like when you start to hear a lot of women on these different platforms talking about, well, I don't want to build a man. I don't want to have to wait. I need him to already be established. Listen, she stayed down with him. And no, she didn't build him up. He built himself. She had a goal. She had a plan for herself. They came together and they were focused on that. He supported her. She supported him. They were doing their thing and they were building together. And guess what? They are still together. They're still together. Creating businesses and building businesses together. That's what it's about. So when I constantly preach to y'all about, listen, man, this man does not have to be established in this sense, right? Now, of course, there's an age situation. If you in your 40s and you ain't got nothing going on for yourself, like, hey, big dog, we got to have a conversation. That's a big conversation. But typically speaking, when you're building with someone, you're not building a man, you're not building a woman, you're building together, right? You guys have clear communication. You guys have a clear plan of where you're trying to go. You stay down with this man because guess what? He is the ambitious man. He has a plan forward in life where he's trying to go, and he's working towards that plan. You as well, just as a working woman, that does not mean that you have to be a masculine woman. You can still be in your divine feminine and still be focused on a passion or a goal that you have set for yourself. You guys come together and you work towards that. But we're going to continue to keep playing it. They're going to get there.
Everything okay. So I dropped the ball and I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then you had a smile. You like, you got in, and you were crying. And then I started freaking out. I was like, I got in. I'm jumping up and down. I'm like, I'm about to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
We're moving to DC.
And it was such an emotional moment because I started to think about it. Like, neither one of my parents finished high school. Like, I never thought I was smart enough to be a doctor. Like, I never thought I was smart enough to finish my bachelor's degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they selected me the first time to go into this program. And so we're celebrating. Call grandpa, he started crying. Call your parents, they start crying. Everybody excited, right? And so at this point, this is 2020.
No, this is 2021.
This is 2021. This is 2021. Yes, that's right.
This is like January. We're moving in April.
Yeah, exactly. So we found out in January. And so it's January 2021. Okay. Mm-hmm. We had not thought about retiring or business. Now, let's go back. In 2018, Samantha and I started a company called Bailey Digital Marketing. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that real quick because I think that's important.
Yeah. So actually, after everything happened with that telecommunications company where they had
relocated to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Relocated my job. In my mind, I was like, okay, I never want to be solely relying on a corporate job ever again. Like, I don't ever want to be in this position again where like they literally own my ability to afford our lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Like, so if something happens with this job,
we're on my income.
Yeah, we're, until I find another one. And keep in mind, we were so young. Like, we didn't have 6 months of savings. We probably didn't even have 1 month of savings.
Most people don't even have 6 months of savings. Most people don't even have $1,000 in their account that they can access. Most people don't even have $200 that they can access in their account. That's a fact. Your average American can't even access $200 in their account.
Yeah. Well, we had my income, which was enough to live on, but it wasn't enough to like.
We had a certain lifestyle at that point. Not that it was extravagant, but like we like to go out to eat and like go on road trips at that time to Phoenix. And so.
And I was only making like 35, 40K.
Shout out to AZ.
And so I was like, okay, we're going to start a company. Let's start Bailey Digital Marketing. Because we had actually had a client come to us. They were a custom home builder. And they're actually still our client today. We love them. They've actually become like family to us. Mm-hmm. And so we started our business, took on that client, and then it just started growing. So that was always something that we were doing on the side while we were pursuing our corporate careers.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was there. We had probably by the time I got accepted into my program, we probably had like 4 or 5 clients with that going every month. Mm-hmm. And so that was in place, but we had never considered like leaving our jobs and going all in on business. Right. Okay. So now we're to the point where I'm accepted into this program. Now here's how God works. Cause I think this is pretty cool. We were in a position to where now Samantha could move from Tucson with me to DC without giving up her job, which is not common in the military, right? Because typically, if you move, then your spouse has to leave whatever job they're at so your whole family can move. But you didn't have to because COVID was going on.
COVID was going on.
That's right.
Shout out to COVID.
Well, no, not shout out to COVID, but for
shout
this
out
situation.
To COVID for that reason.
Yeah.
No, actually, I had COVID a few times and horrible experience. But I will also say, because I need to give credit where credit is due here too, the person you report to in corporate changes the whole experience. Because I had a boss come in probably around 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Regine Janvier, who was still a great friend to me. And she was my boss at the time, and another Black woman. It was actually the first time I had worked in corporate with another Black woman.
I remember how nervous you were about
I was so nervous about her coming in as my boss because I didn't know if it was going to be healthy or if it was going to be a competition thing.
Yeah.
It ended up being the best boss and employee relationship ever. And
I just want to clarify real quick. It wasn't that she was nervous about working with another Black woman. She was nervous because oftentimes when us as Black folks get into these corporate environments where we're competing for certain positions, or if you see somebody coming for your position, we end up getting sometimes this crab in the bucket mentality or this gatekeeping mentality. And it's very real and very prevalent. So you were blessed to be with somebody.
I ain't gonna hold you. Hey, he cooking on that one. A lot of people, they get this crab in the bucket mentality. I'm like, listen, bro, what's for me gonna be for me. At the end of the day, I always keep my head on the swivel for other positions in regards to how I can level up and how I can get better, how I can improve in my skills, so that way I can continue to keep moving up. I'm not finna be stagnant, man. I don't like being stagnant. I don't like being stagnant at all. I don't. There's no growth in being stagnant at all. You have to continue to keep learning. You have to continue to keep growing. You have to continue to keep continue to keep building. That's how you make your money. That's how you make more money. That's how you level up. That's why we wear the earn not given shirt. You got to earn this. You got to earn your keep. You got to earn your keep, homie. What you gatekeeping for? Ain't no reason to gatekeep. Listen, whether you gatekeep it or not, if they don't want you there, guess what? They gonna fire you. So what's for you is for you. And what ain't, it ain't. It's not.
Was like ready to pour into you, mentor you, pull you up,
wanted to
see you win. Yeah. So
not only in the corporate environment, but in my personal life too. So I remember I told her, like, Darrell got accepted in this program. She knew you were applying and stuff. And I was like, Darrell got accepted. And I called her like after hours and we would talk on the phone just as friends. I told her the situation. And I remember she came back to me that same week and was like, you're going to be able to work from home. Like, don't worry about it. Like, she took care of that for me because I was so worried.
Yeah. So, we moved to DC. Samantha did her thing. She found a property for us. We literally built our house in 2021. And we moved in like December of 2021 into that house. Started my program at George Mason University through the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences here. Was in that program with the 24 other students. We were all so excited. We're all like, we're about to be doctors. It felt like I was in the show Grey's Anatomy. Like when they first get in, they start meeting each other. We didn't have all the weird drama and stuff, right? But it just felt really cool to be around individuals who were going after something as prestigious as becoming a doctor. And I'm in this program and, it's very difficult, right? The first part of the program is you have to get your master's of science in cellular molecular biology. And so we're doing that whole thing. We're also shadowing different physicians, but we're also studying for the medical college admissions test, which is an 8-hour test that requires several years of studying for. And so we're going after this thing. And it got to the point in the program where I'm about finished and we have to start applying to medical school. I'm taking the medical college admissions test and I'm not passing. The first 2 times my scores were okay to get me into DO schools, but not good enough for me to get into an MD school, right? And it was very frustrating. It was heartbreaking. It was disheartening. It was exhausting.
The third time though, you did get the scores to get into the schools.
Yeah, for sure. And eventually with Celebrity 2, like, Darrell, you need to start posting content again as videos and your mom was telling me too, like, Darrell, you need to start posting content again. And so I started posting content on social media in like November of 2022 or 2023. It was one of those years.
2022.
The end of 2022. And when I started posting, it literally in 2 months, I went from about 800 followers to 50,000 followers. It went crazy. Everything I would post, it's almost like God touched the algorithm and said, we're going to push this out. And I would be getting messages from people all across the country like, hey, bro, you just saved my life.
And at the time, you weren't even posting lifestyle stuff. It was literally very like just sitting, dark background, talking head.
Yep, talking head content. I would be telling people, hey, like, you're going to make it through this situation. Whatever you're going through right now is directly connected to where God is taking you. Like, I would be pouring into.
Meanwhile, you were going through your own challenges.
And I was going through my own stuff, right?
And at the time, and my job was still as toxic and hard as ever, too.
It was a mess.
It was a dark time.
Yeah. And so as I'm posting content now, mind you, I don't know nothing about no brand deals. I don't know nothing about monetizing social media. I don't know anything about this stuff. And at the time, we got reached out to by this personal care brand company in like December or January of that year. And I remember being like, I wonder what they want. And they was like, hey, bro, we'll pay you $700 to post a 1-minute video. And I was like, what? You're gonna pay me what? $700 to post a video, right? And so I get this brand deal, I post a video, it does well, and so, but the rest of that year, there wasn't really any brand partnerships or anything like that. And I'm still posting and I'm growing, and I reached about 100,000 followers at the end of like 2023.
Yeah.
And at the end of 2023, I posted in my stories that we was doing our annual strategy meeting, how we sit down and plan out our lives, right? And all these people started messaging me like, hey, what are you guys doing? What's this thing that y'all are doing? And I'm like, people are interested in this. Maybe next year I'll post it as
that was 2022. 2023 is when you posted the one that went viral.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
And I think you can sense it too, though. Bullseye. I think you can sense how genuine he actually is, regardless of he even said himself he was going through his own struggles in life, but he was still pouring into people, and he was coming from a genuine place. It wasn't coming from a place of I'm just telling you this. I'm giving you this fake positive talk, so that way you can like my video, or that way you can get comments, or I can grow my followers account. I think in situations like that, I think when people are giving those talking heads like that and they're positive, I think they're more so talking to themselves, but they just put it on camera. Because I know a lot of times when I'm talking to myself. Y'all might be thinking I'm talking to y'all, but I'll be talking to myself. But it can come off as I'm talking to everybody else out here. I can be talking to myself when I'm talking about how great the Courtnee Edgar Show is going to be, how dope we're going to be, when we're growing, we're building, we're focusing on different things and how we're going to improve, how we're going to get better. A lot of times I'm talking to myself. That's motivation. That right there, when I'm telling myself, I tell myself that all the time. When I'm driving in the truck, when I'm headed to work, when I'm taking a shower, when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm constantly saying that. I'm constantly putting that information out there. That's what I do. And so I think that's the place that he's coming from as well. It's genuine. And he truly believes it. And so therefore he talks about it, and the people actually relate to it. People gravitate towards it. So yeah, you're right.
Because the end of 2022 is when I started posting the
that's when
talking head content. The end of 2023 is when I posted that in my story.
No, 2023 went viral. That's when we were in Disney.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. My bad. You're right. So 2023, you're right. 2023, it went viral because I was towards the end of my program. That's right, because this is how God works. So that video goes viral, reaching millions and millions and millions and millions of people. I mean, I think it totaled out at like almost 30 million people across all platforms. And we were getting thousands of messages from people across the country and the world asking us for our spreadsheet. And that month, in December and January, we made more money than we had ever made in the year before. We made about, $130,000 in a matter of 2 months from putting out that spreadsheet. And so now we realized we had another business. It just kind of fell into our laps. And the impact I was having just by talking to like men, a lot of husbands were hitting me up like, bro, like the way you plan with your wife, the way you're intentional, the way you are like really putting forth effort to lead your wife. Like I was giving the game to all these guys like, yo, this feels good, man. This feels really good. And I'm helping all these people. We're making money. Now we're doing the webinars, and on the webinars, we're making more money. And then also as we're doing this, and as this is growing and becoming a movement, because we got Daily Mail reaching out, Business Insider, Yahoo Finance, all these different business and finance outlets interviewing us and all this stuff.
Yep.
We're also getting out brand deals.
Mm-hmm.
We have, these different brand partners. We got personal care brand like Dove and Gillette and Old Spice and all these different brands. But we also had Industrious reach out. Industrious said to us, hey, we'll pay you guys. What was it?
That's where we were doing our meetings.
That's when we were doing our meeting. Yeah.
And this was the biggest amount of money we had ever seen. They were like, we'll pay
at that time
$13,000 for 3 videos.
At $13K for three reels. And we were like, wait. And that was our first big brand deal, right? And this was all during the year 2024. And so I think that year we probably did about maybe 100K in brand deals, maybe a little bit over that.
Yep.
If you ain't doing content creation, man, I don't know what y'all doing. I ain't gonna hold you. Now, some people, they just aren't made for it. They just aren't made for the camera. I understand that. But there's a lot of money in content creation. Now, I know they started a while back, right? They started a while back, 2021. Pretty much around the same time when people were really heavy on social media too, right? But I'm telling you, bro, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money when it comes to content creation. Now, mind you, Instagram is different than YouTube. YouTube is different than Kick different than Twitch and all these different things. And I think the algorithm works different across the board, right? So I think they got maybe 5K or something subscribers on YouTube, but on Instagram, if they aren't at 1 million followers, I'm pretty sure they're close. So it does work different, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of money in content creation overall. The main focus is making sure that it helps. It's transformational content. This is why people gravitate towards them, because it's transformational content. He giving out game. How can you move the needle forward? That's what they're doing. And so people want to attach themselves to that. He said, chill, bro. But that's what it's about, though, man. That's what it's about. Having that gravitational pull, man, and moving the needle forward when you're making content. Yeah, it's cool to post funny videos. That's dope. Look at Haha Davis, right? Look at Haha Davis. Buddy was making a ton of content. That's facts, K. Cooper. They were making a ton of content, right? Haha Davis making a ton of content, made over, 1 million something views on content, but only made, $400? That's it? $400. But again, that goes to show you a lot of people don't even understand how to monetize their platform because they're so focused on the followers. They're so focused on the subscriber count. It's more to it than that. But hey,
on top of the plan and playbook, so we made probably about 200.
What makes him corny? What do you mean he's corny? How is he corny? What makes him corny? I don't understand it. What about this man is making him corny? I genuinely want to know, because that's a wild comment. That's a wild comment. What makes him corny? Because he's talking about their journey from when they started from corporate America and how they went into content creation and how they blew up. I'm trying to understand it. Where? Help me to understand.
$160,000 between the plan and playbook and social media.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we also have Bailey Digital Marketing and our jobs.
And our corporate jobs.
Right.
So meanwhile, just to kind of give perspective, we have these things that we're genuinely passionate about that are climbing. We have the planning playbook. Darrell's posting content. Bailey Digital Marketing are doing so well. Meanwhile, we're both Darrell's still pursuing medicine. I'm still working at my toxic corporate company, stressed out, not enjoying what we're doing, and also not making as much money from those jobs as we were in our businesses that we owned.
Exactly. And it was crazy because I'm like, yo, we're doing so well with this that we could potentially walk away. And I was thinking this by myself. I hadn't had this conversation. I was like, we could potentially walk away from what we're doing, because here's the thing about the program I was in. I would have had to complete 4 years of medical school, because this was a post-bac program, not medical school just yet. So I was doing my master's, finished that. I would have had to do 4 years of medical school. That would have put us at about 33, 34 years old. And then I would have had to do another 4 years of residency. That would have put us at about 38. And then if I wanted to specialize, I would have had to do a 2-year fellowship. That would have put us at about 40. And now I'm a practicing physician.
Let me see.
Then I would have owed the Air Force back another 7 years, right? From all the school, because you go to school for free, but you owe them that time back. And then you have to finish up your contract. So that would put me at about 50 years old. So we would have been locked into that, not to mention the danger that comes with the deployments, the moving around, the instability just all over the place, which we were fully prepared to do at first.
Yeah.
But we
were willing to make that sacrifice.
We were willing to make that sacrifice. But when you compare that to being able to show up genuinely online, help thousands of couples across the world, me motivating, pushing, inspiring people. I was getting hired to do commencement ceremonies where I was getting paid to go talk to kids and all this stuff. It's like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I really want to do. But then you start thinking about all the what ifs.
And that's where my mind was. I think you were ready way before I was to take that leap. I was very much, and we talked about this on a panel we were just on, institutionalized, where it was like, no, I've worked this hard.
You saying y'all can't see everyone's comment? Oh, well, the problem is some of the people they're commenting from the vertical view, and some of y'all are commenting from the landscape view. That's why.
And I've come this far. I'm not gonna just stop working. Like, I'm gonna see this through. I'm gonna work until we're 50 something, and then we can retire. And then we get to, so it was, to me, even with all of the proof I had in front of me, it still seemed just so unrealistic and so far-fetched to not work.
What if a recession happens? What if social media goes away? What if business starts dwindling down? How do we keep this up? You know what I mean? And because there's so much security that comes with positions that we were already in.
I think it takes a level of trust, though. And this is where I feel like we took a leap of faith, but Darrell took the leap first, and it was like he had to reach for my hand, and then
So it's so the vertical stream is basically, I'm streaming on the landscape view. So what you're looking at is the landscape view right now. But there's a other side of it where you can look at it. So if you're looking at it from your phone, it's a vertical view. So it's two streams, but it's still the same stream. But it's just one that's vertical, and one that's landscape. The traditional view is where you're viewing it from.
Leaped with him but I trusted him, and I trusted that if anybody wanted to make sure we were in a good financial position, it was you. And so it didn't take that long for me to be like, okay, if you see it, then I believe in it.
Well, I just remember thinking to myself, and it's funny how God will show you exactly where you're meant to be based off the frustration you have in what you're trying to do. It's like he was just showing me that's not for you. I brought you here for a reason. I brought you to this area so you can make connections and build your brand. But this is not what I want you to do. Because you remember those 2 scores crushed me because I could not apply to any medical schools, at least I tried DO programs, but not MD programs with those scores. And so I was so depressed. I was so down about this, but at the same time, in this other life, I'm having all this success. We're making hundreds of thousands of dollars and doing extremely well. But I'm still trying to force this thing of becoming a doctor.
I'll be quiet.
In high school, I never wanted to be a doctor. In middle school or elementary school, part of me wanting to be a doctor was for 2 reasons. One, I had genuine interest in science and medicine, and I love helping people. But 2, I wanted to prove to every doubter and hater in my life that you're gonna have to address me as Dr. Darrell C. Bailey. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's that little, we all have that little chip in our shoulder, especially the ones who are ambitious, who have a drive, who want to be as great as they possibly can be. they have this little thing in the back of their mind of the people who doubted them, the people who thought they couldn't do it, the people who didn't support them, the individuals who probably said like, "Oh, this junk trash, you ain't gonna never make it." So it's that little voice in the back of your head that keeps us going, that puts that battery in our back and it's like, nah, all right, okay, I hear you. I'll make a mental note of that. So when I'm there, don't come back and say you was rocking with me. Don't come back and say that you always support me. I don't want to hear none of that because I remember you specifically. We all have that. We all got that. And when we get that, we ready. We ready to scream at the mountaintops. Like, yeah, I've been told y'all that. And that's why I believe, and honestly, that's why I believe that those individuals who get to a certain point, you got to have a level, there has to be a level of confidence to say, or a level of cockiness in a sense. It's like, man, I work my butt off to get here, man. You ain't finna sit here and tell me how I'm supposed to respond or how I'm supposed to act. I worked day and night. I sacrifice a lot in order to get here. You gonna sit here and tell me I need to be humble? Boy, you better get out of my face. You better leave me alone.
But that's not the right way to approach becoming in that career field. But you know what I've always wanted to do as a kid? I've always wanted to preach. I've always wanted to mentor. I've always wanted to sit down with people and help people and push people. And it's like God was showing me, like, I've given you the platform. You're now grown to over, at that time now, 300,000 followers.
Yeah.
You're getting brand partnerships. You're getting speaking deals. You're getting affiliate partnerships, and the plan and playbook is booming every year. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to try to make this fit. So you know what I did? I called every mentor that wrote me a letter of recommendation. I had 12 letters of recommendation. And I called all of those doctors and I say, hey, y'all, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And I hope you're not disappointed in me, but I haven't even told my wife yet, but I don't think I want to do this doctor thing. I think I want to go and inspire the world. And all of them, without hesitation, Darrell, you are the type of person, one of them even called me a golden retriever.
You are.
It's like, they said, you are the type of person that can succeed in whatever it is that you put your mind to. And all of them were honest. It's like, being a doctor is one of the most challenging career fields, not because of how hard it is to get into, but in how hard it is to keep a personal life outside of it. The divorce rate is extremely high. It is really, really difficult to sustain. It's going to take a hit on your health because you come last in a lot of situations.
Yeah, they had 500. He only had 560K followers on Instagram. Let me see, where's she at? And she at 59, and she at 59K. Their podcast alone is 668, so you could tell they're pretty fresh when it comes to making a YouTube channel. But yeah, that's what he made. That's what it made the bread and butter at, right there on Instagram. That's where the bread and butter is made. I knew I remember their content. I knew I did. I know I wasn't tripping. Yep, I remember them. Sure do.
They said, we see what you're doing online. Go and do that. That's who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was getting the confirmation from this person, from that person, from mentors. And I was like, you know what? It's time, man. It's time to bet on me. It's time to go into entrepreneurship. It's time to drive this thing forward. And it's funny how, like, after I made that decision, I presented it to you, and naturally you were, a little bit concerned. But I was like, you don't have to work. We can survive on what? And you're like, are you sure? Like, I'm like, yeah, we're good. And it's funny how when that ended,
I know, ladies, I know y'all would love to hear that from y'all, man. I know y'all would love to hear that from y'all, man. But listen, there are some men out here who may not be able to do it right now, but they are working their tail off to get to a point to where they can say and come to you one day and say, listen, you do not have to work anymore if you don't want to. If you trust in him and you trust and believe, if he told you this, mind you, if y'all had that conversation and he told you this before, and you see the drive in him and you see he's working his butt off to get to that point, stick with him. He gonna get you there. Because I know there are a lot of people that talk on these platforms and they say, well, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. He needs to pay 100% of the bills. I hear you. If it's practical, cool. But if it's not, stay down with him, communicate with him, have the conversation. Let him know where you stand. Let him know where you want to be at. And you both sit down and you guys make a plan. That's what they talked about. They didn't come out the woodwork. He wasn't already established. He wasn't already there, but he had the drive. He had the mentality. He had that little battery in his back that pushed him to keep going. And eventually, the hard work paid off. The hard work paid off. She was doing her thing. She was still focused on trying to move up the ladder, but guess what? She was still working. She was still remaining that feminine woman. Yeah, of course, I'm pretty sure there were times where they struggled or they had to have certain conversations. Of course, no relationship is perfect, but understand something. You guys have a goal. You guys have a purpose. You guys have the same path that y'all are going towards, right? Nobody's bigger than the program. You have a program. Nobody's bigger than it. And you just stay within it, you work within it, you work together to get to that point. And then once he finally gets to that point where he can say, hey, you don't got to work if you don't want to. Everything is taken care of. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. I'm pretty sure most women be like, shit, say less. I ain't working. I'm quitting today. Immediately, I am quitting today. I will not show up to work tomorrow. She earned it, though. The best. Yep. If of course, it has to be earned. Yeah, you got to go through the listen. You got to go through the ringer with me. Because every man, listen, man, because in reality, every man ain't making $100,000 a year. And even then, you still can't even afford to pay 100% of the bills because a lot of y'all upgrade y'all lifestyle with y'all income. So you still living paycheck to paycheck, even though you making $100,000 a year. So that don't even matter. That won't even matter. But now, if you decided to say, you know what? We started here. When we started, we were making $50,000 a year, right? So you had your lifestyle a certain way. Now all of a sudden you making $100,000. Let's just use the store for an example. You were in the military. She was working here. She was making 40 some $1,000. He's making 50 some $1,000 or $38,000, something like that, right? So I'm pretty sure they were living a pretty humble life in regards to how they were living their life. Now you're starting to get these brand deals. You're starting to get these sponsorships. Now you're making upwards of $100,000. You're getting $13,000 just to create 3 videos. You don't then upgrade your lifestyle after that. No. You pay off everything and you continue to keep doing what you're doing while still maintaining that same lifestyle you had as you were making $30,000 a year. And you continue to build your income. You continue to build over here. And then once you get to a space where like, all right, we're good. We done made the proper investments over here. We got a year's worth of savings stash. Now we can just focus on this work here. Now we can upgrade the lifestyle a little bit. Now we don't have to go into debt to purchase this new condo or purchase this new home or purchase this new vehicle. We can buy it cash if we want to. But most people don't live their lives like that. So women want these benefits off rip nowadays. Yeah, nah, they ain't getting that off rip. Bestowment. Hey, listen. I didn't even want to read it. Bestowment. Listen, don't talk to me today. It's Sunday.
You just became so. It's like your anxiety just dropped.
Oh my God. Just like, I just felt so much more like me. I remember, because one of the things we do every year is we sit courtside at basketball games. And I remember last year when we sat courtside, I was sitting there and I almost cried because I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I've actually sat here and enjoyed
what you were doing. Yeah.
Because in every situation where I felt like I should be enjoying this, whether it was something as big as that or on a trip, I was never fully in that moment. I was always thinking like, dang, what about work? What about this project? What about this call I have to get on tomorrow? Like just always anxious and just always had this like dark cloud over my head. And literally that's just a testament to what life has been like since not working in corporate. Is just every day is like I'm so much more myself, so much happier. I'm a better wife, better friend, better everything. Like, life is just so much better. I did have, I feel like, a little bit of an identity crisis though, like at the beginning, because I told you guys I had always seen my life as, or my career as, like, I'm going to climb the corporate ladder. I'm going to grind. I'm going to be a hard worker, all of those things. But what I realized as I got older, and I think also as our marriage started to get into a better place, I was like, no, my priority is I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good mom. And not that you can't be those things and have a corporate job. You can do both. And I really commend women who do. But for me, I was like, with that job that I had, there was no way that I could be all of the other things I wanted to be.
Yeah. And not only that, but you had the opportunity to finally actually do this. And you know, I was to a point where when my yes started opening doors.
Yeah.
We ended up meeting, you know, our good friend Aaron, you know, ended up meeting like all of these different individuals that was positioning me.
God was just rewarding you.
I mean, the doors was just swinging open, and the Air Force was like, okay, cool, but you got to finish out your contract. Right. And so
in North Dakota.
They were like, yeah, we about to move you to North Dakota. See, God don't play about me though, because I was in such the perfect position that the only way I would have to move to North Dakota is if I re-enlisted. And I wasn't about to re-enlist. I ended my contract. I say, I'm gonna finish out here. And so
they gave him the orders 2 weeks after. He would have had to take the orders if you had gotten them 2 weeks prior.
If I would have got them just 2 weeks before, we would have had to pick up and move to North Dakota, just to finish out my career there. But I didn't have to. Thank God. So we were able to stay here. But man, like once I said, okay, once I released the control of judgment from my peers, like being in that program, like walking away, and because sometimes that's hard too. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking like, oh man, they're all about to go be doctors. What if this doesn't work out for me? And I could have been up there with them, you know, seeing patients by now. What's funny is all of them are graduating medical school this year, you know, and I'm like, man, I could have been with them and all these things. And so, you know, it was a lot of things that were coming up for me. But once I released it and I walked into it, man, everything started to open up. All of these doors started to open up. And now that I'm fully out of the military, my last day was April 12th of this year. It's like God was like, okay, now you're free. I got this conference hit me up, that conference hit me up, this place. We want you to.
Man, listen, bro. First of all, shout out to him. Shout out to him ultimately, dog, because that's pretty dope. That is pretty dope. Many blessings to them in their future endeavors. You know, now that he has released that position, that military position, now listen, floodgates all the way opened up. And that's one of the things that one of my good friends, he told me as well. He's like, listen, man, I know you got your job right now. I know you're working your 9 to 5, but I'm telling you, when that job removes itself from you, or you remove yourself from that job, the floodgate's gonna open up for you. I say, yeah, it will. It will. I say in due time, man. But there are certain things that we got to take care of first before we can do that. Certain things we got to do. Once that happens, oh, best believe it's up. Best believe it's up, man. Shout out to them in their relationship, though. Shout out to him. Continue to keep pushing, big dog. Her, continue to keep doing what you're doing. Continue to keep being that supportive wife, but also continue to keep getting to your bag too. That's what's up. I definitely pinned their channel in the description as well, in this video as well. If you want to go and watch the full video, because I did skip it. I did skip certain parts. So go check it out. Go check them out. It's pretty cool, pretty dope. But let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these 2 videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
All right. So now we gonna shift gears just one more time, because now we about to get into a little bit of degeneracy. Kind of degeneracy. A little bit. We're gonna go back to this topic that we talked about on Friday. And shout out to Five Brown and Real Life PJ for pulling up on us, man, on Friday night. They came through, they kicked it with us for a hot minute too. I think we were on live for about How long were we live? A smooth 6 hours. A smooth 6 hours, bro. But it was fun. It was fun though. It was fun. Let me put this in. All these, gonna put all the individuals here. Boom. Courtnee. Boom. Put this here. All right, bet. I'm coming, y'all. Give me a second. I bet. There we go. Yeah. Friday was dope, man. Friday was dope. I genuinely enjoyed Friday. It was pretty fun. It was pretty dope. All right, so let's get to this last topic, man. Like I said, we talked about this one on Friday, but I wanted to address it personally myself again because there's a lot of conversations that were had in this video, and I think it's pretty interesting. So, but shout out to Team Fatty. Shout out to what they're doing over there. You know, they be having some conversations over there. Shout out to this platform. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's rock it.
It never you just checkmated yourself. Speak better, and that's why you went to Thailand. Thank you very much. That's all we did. Like literally, if you are not the woman I want, and you are right here, but the woman I want is right there, I'm going right there. You literally said go to the woman you want.
Of course,
So also,
but not only that, Sums.
I have a
Sums. Guess what you didn't do? You did not tell Ali what you bring to the table. And I would like to all the sisters that believe that you deserve marriage now or expectate because of your expectations and standards that's now elevated, and you found God as well too, because all y'all found God, right? Always find God.
I am God. I am God.
Yeah. So again,
I am God.
Why is it? Never mind.
Oh, we'll get to that later. Oh, y'all God.
We sure will.
I got it. Always. All of us.
Sums. Why should men marry most of today's women?
I do think, just like any adult, because actually I want to get to the central belief I have is also date within your tax bracket, everyone, men and women. So I'll say that. You can go down within reason and you can go up within reason, but you should be dating within your tax bracket. That's why the Thailand thing doesn't work for me. But to get to your question, I ultimately think that every working adult or every functioning adult should know how to cook and clean. So I think every woman knows how to do that. So if that's what you all are looking for, that very the traditional sense of what a woman brings to the table. Most women know how to do that because they have their own homes and they must do it in their own homes. They know how to manage their lives. They know how to work. Most women have a uterus, I'm not saying all, and are willing and desire to procreate. She's going to, whatever you give her, she will multiply. If she comes home, all her skills that she has in the workplace translate into the home. So there's
she is the table. Right. The woman is the table. You're asking about like
so much to the table.
When did the woman
where are you the how
to the table? The woman is the table.
When did the woman become the table? I'm sorry. When did the woman become the provider? When did the woman become the one that does any hard labor work?
I don't believe that.
I think the better question is, when did she stop being the table? I think that's the
when did she ever start being the table? I'm confused.
I think it's
when
the woman
she's cooking, she's cleaning. I'm talking to Kiana.
Yeah, I think it's always been built like that.
Crazy. I mean, this is
from since ancient times. That
hold on real quick, Kiana. Hold on real quick. What exactly is crazy? Because it's ladies first. I'm kind of getting frustrated with the little ad libs.
Hey, friends, this is the problem, right? The show is crowded. We are literally rotating people on the back because the show is front loaded.
and it's going to get better throughout the show, and it's going to be a little more calmer. Y'all going to have the chance to talk. If y'all see that the show is crowded, then y'all being difficult, right? I need to talk now. Mostly the man. I need to say now. Hey, thank you, Yuri, for your patience. Thank you, Jonathan, for your patience. Thank you, Sharon, for your patience. Not Mr. Let Go. Let them have it. It's
Hey,
going
I'm
to
an
be.
only child. That's my problem. I'm an only child.
I can see. And then, like, we're going to make sure that y'all get the microphone on the second part of the show. Let her run the show, please. Go ahead, Melanin, one-on-one, and then we will try to actually get the rest of the people
think the way that she
in.
made
Please go.
child too, huh?
Yeah. So how is the woman the table?
I think it's just since from like ancient times. It's always been like this. Like women are the table, women is the divine feminine. You know, the men used to go out and even if they have this idea or like whatever, right? And they bring it back to the woman sits on it, nurtures it, and she brings it to life. And then the men, you give it back to the men, they go out and they just build it. So it's always this is our
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
A man brings something back to you, you sit on it and you nurture it, and then the man goes back out and he builds it. So what table? She didn't even ask the question. Here we go.
Table if you're not the one going out to get it. So he's the one putting his life on the line to go get the food, and he's bringing it back to you already dead, right? For you to just spin it and cook it. So how are you the table? You sound like a helpmate, not the table.
No, he's the masculine. That is his masculine essence. That is his job. That is his duty on the planet. And as women, that is our job to sit back in our feminine. We bring what we take what they bring and we make something out of it.
They're masculine men, so that's what they do. They're supposed to go out and get, and they bring back to you as you sit back. And what are you doing? What are you making out of it? What are you doing? You sit back in your divine feminine. So again, how are you the table? How are you the table? What are you bringing? What do you? No, and this is not a shot at women, but I genuinely want to know what makes you. How is this making you the table? Because just as the other shorty, who was just talking before her, she said that she believes that every person that's a functional human being should be able to cook, should be able to clean. They should be able to do that. So by that logic right there, how the hell are you the table? What other value are you bringing? Am I bugging? Am I tripping? It's always the ones with the dreads, bro. It's always the ones with the dreads. Every time. It never fails. They always got dreads. It never fails.
We're ordained for that. We're ordained to live softly like that. It wasn't until the patriarchy was created. That's what we're missing. I actually just built a course that's teaching you women about the patriarchy. If you're interested, hit me up.
Talking about the y'all. See, this is why doing a live stream is so dope. This is why it's so dope. We just watched the video of a very feminine woman. Ain't mentioned nothing about the patriarchy. Ain't mentioned nothing about divine femininity. Ain't mentioned nothing about sitting in my soft girl era. Ain't mentioned none of that. Her and her man out there getting to it. She had plans in her life that she wanted to move up the corporate ladder. He had his plans. They had their goals and they wanted to move up. And yet and still, you got women like this. Even on her platform, bro, it says, listen, hear me out. Helping women escape the patriarchy. 27-year-old ex stay-at-home mom manifesting freedom.
I'm annoyed that I have to deal with men who are toxic and who are haters, who don't have children, their own children's best interest. I'm annoyed, of course, as any human would be. I mean, I've done daily work. I've done years of shadow work.
So she
on Instagram, but the patriarchy was a structure built for men to take that out from under women, to take that right that women have to rest in softness, right? And now we see women working. Now we have to convince people that we need to bring something to the table when we are the table and always have been and always will be. So it's our job as women to just stand in that. So it don't matter what the red pill, blue pill, whatever. I don't even know what all that is, but stand in your truth, ladies. Divine femininity. Okay. If you want to learn more, Instagram.
You did not explain.
And then she's trying
why
to
the
play on her
woman
book.
is the table. You just strictly went into like that girl empowerment, give you encouraging words, but like you didn't say anything that made you the table. Everything you described was him first leading, going to get the food, giving the shelter, like putting his life on the line. That would make him the table. You are enjoying the fruits of his labor. But Yuri, go ahead, because you've been waiting for a moment, and then we can open it back up because I want everybody to speak.
Yeah,
the table is God, man. If they really want to play that game, the God is tape. The table is God, bro. He gives us the things in this world that we need. He gives us the trees to make a table. He gives us the trees to make chairs to sit at the table. Gives us the food that grows up from the ground, right? But you have to take care of that. You have to get the seeds. You have to plant the seeds. You have to harvest it. You have to harvest it. So again, you're here to be a helpmate. The women were not created first. So I don't know why they keep thinking that they are. You weren't created first. You come from a man's rib, right? You come from a man's rib. So therefore you are here to help. What makes you the table? What makes you believe that you're the table? The very thing in this world that you have, the very way that you operate in this world is because it was built by a man. The so-called patriarchy that you live on, it allows you to say this retarded shit that you're saying now. What do we?
I think your mind might be fixed, sis, on that one. Like might be fixed a certain way, but it's equal. I don't think there's
men and women are not equal. There's nothing about men and women that are equal. And this is why he had a better experience.
I think that's the issue. That's why society fights each other, because we can't just agree that we're equal.
But whose fault? Respectfully, whose fault is that?
Women. Men.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, men.
Respectfully, I don't know you.
Hold on. Yuri hasn't spoken yet. Go ahead, Yuri.
Respectfully, I don't understand how you can teach and advocate and preach and promote to modern women, to the next generation of women like my daughters, about femininity when divine femininity when in reality, if you want to get technical, first of all, I will challenge all day that women were never the table. Now, that doesn't make you less
right
or lower than me, but you were never the prize. But that's where the issue starts. Is that comes from what? Is that a power play? Is that jealousy?
I think it's
true. Is that feminism? Hold up, let me talk. Is that feminism? Is that not being able to handle that we are the breadwinner in most scenarios? Look, I'm an Eastern European man. I come from a very traditional background. I'm a Russian guy. I got Ukrainian roots. I don't date Western women. I think not only are we in a gender war, but we are in a culture war. I think modern women today lack culture. So going back to the video that we saw earlier, respectfully to whoever created noise out of it, that video didn't move my needle. What does faith have anything to do with it? What does God and spirituality have anything to do with this man being sick and tired of the LA women, the Miami women, the New York women, the Vegas women, and wanting to just go have a good time in another country? What does the formalities or the politics have anything to do with it? Like, I've traveled the world, and I'll tell you, women in many parts of the world, it has nothing to do with the politics. It's a cultural difference, war that we are having.
Right.
Women today lack culture. Now, what's happening? You got a bunch of these women who are passing that on to the next generation. I don't teach that to my daughter. I don't teach anything about feminism. I don't teach anything about boss babe, because I think that's all a fraud. I think it's all a sham. And I think that's where it starts. And there is a way to be boss while being feminine. And an area that I really disagree. Yeah, I disagree with that a lot of women today you see on Instagram preaching these nonsense courses about it takes me to bring out femininity. Garbage. You show up already feminine. You come feminine. Now then it's my job to maintain it. So if I don't know how to maintain it, that's where my masculinity is. Then we got a problem.
Maintain it? Big dog. You no, she's supposed to remain feminine all the time. Supposed to remain feminine all the time. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm tracking.
That's what I think. So I don't see anything wrong with this dude went to a bar, tried to approach a woman. Yeah, so what? So is that entitlement? What's that arrogance? Why can't she engage in a conversation? Hey, how you doing, sweetie? Where you from? Where you grew up? What's your background? What do you do? What's wrong with that? No, I'm just saying that some people on this panel were talking mad hate about that. Why?
Yeah, oh dang, that was a lot. Which part? That I think you may have missed it. I don't think we're anything wrong with him, and nothing's wrong with him going to the bars to talk to women, and she just basically gave that like mean girl look, basically. I mean, there's it's mean. It's me. I mean, if she just has a right, he is entitled. He is not entitled to conversation with her, basically. That's what everybody's trying to say. She can kindly deny any conversation, eye contact, anything she wants to. And coming back at that, saying that there's something wrong with that, that's the issue. That's the patriarchy. The mentality to believe that, like, she should talk to me. This woman should talk to me. I'm talking to her. No, absolutely not.
Right.
Sharon, go ahead.
So the issue
before
that we
he go,
have
my bad, before he
is
go.
that yes,
No, absolutely not. That's the problem. You saying that you already have an attitude on your face. Nobody's telling you that you need to talk. Nobody's saying that you're entitled to talk to the man. But sitting up here with a nasty look on your face is what they're talking about. You can politely decline somebody. You can politely say no. You can have a smile on your face and still politely tell somebody no. That's what they're saying. You don't need to have this mean mug look on your face when the man comes up and talks to you. That's what they're referring to. That's what they're saying. Men understand that they're not going to get it right all the time, that every woman is not going to talk to them, but at least you at least have this feminine look, because you just sit right here looking mean, look like you ready to stare through somebody. It's like, damn, bro, relax. I ain't even said nothing to you yet. Calm down. What you got an attitude for? Relax. That's what they're saying.
man is supposed to bring the femininity out of the woman because the woman is supposed to protect her femininity. So she just gives it to any man that says hello to her. That is a problem because men also want these low body count women. So if she just says hi to every single man that walks by, that is a problem. Majority of men want their woman to have an attitude. I don't want my woman talking to random men just because he said hi. Get the F out of here. I do not want my daughter, just because a man said hi, he has a nice smile, he presents himself well, to say that that man is safe. No, she has to protect her femininity. So yes, that's why a man needs to bring that protection up out of her, right? So now when she says, oh, you are a safe person, and then she could drop down her wall, and now she could be open to that man. This idea that men are the table nowadays are men are the prize. That is a very feminine way to think.
Very sorry.
Extremely.
Like it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Men are supposed to move a certain way, right? Men are supposed to have a rite of passage. Men are supposed to prove who they are every single day. And if he is courting a woman, he's supposed to prove to her, and that's why she becomes feminine with him, because he has a track record. He has a history with that woman. And I'm going to teach my daughters to make sure she pay attention to a track record of whoever she is dating.
A grown ass goofy. Remember, I just told you, you that old gang.
Boy, it's out the mud. We got Rashad McCown.
Who is this dude, bro? Who is this man? Who is this man? Because first and foremost, I'm not proving myself to you as a woman. That's not my job. That's not my duty. I'm not looking to prove myself to you. I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm focused on my purpose. You as a woman are not my purpose. You are not my purpose. I'm focused on my purpose. And therefore, a woman who aligns with me will then jump on the train on the program that I am on. I'm not here to prove to her nothing. This is why this whole phrase of, listen, bro, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You either going to jump on this train or you ain't. I'm not going to prove nothing to you. It is your job as a woman to observe and see that, listen, can I align with this man? And if you can't, you move on. Not finna prove myself to you. What I look like? No, absolutely not. You bugging. Why are you gay?
Nigga, that's a man. What? No, this my ex. Your ex-girlfriend a man. Why you think she in jail with the men? She'd be on the other side. Nigga, you gay.
Not just be feminine to any man that says hi to her, because that is not a valuable woman to most.
I guarantee you. And I'm glad that I watched this video before. But shout out to the damn, I can make sure I say the name properly. I don't want to misspeak. I want to make sure I say the name properly. Make sure I say the name. The Bailey Wade. Shout out to the Bailey Wade podcast, right? You mean to tell me that woman is gonna be mean mugging? She out in public or she kicking it or whatever. You mean to tell me if people are genuinely saying, "Hey, how you doing?" You think that she gonna mean mug them? She not gonna say anything? Think she's gonna be a smart aleck? She's gonna be a smart aleck to all the men who may say hate her. And this is not saying that all men are trying to shoot their shot at her. But you mean to tell me that she's not gonna operate in her feminine because she has to keep her wall up as a woman? Come on, dog. You ain't living in reality, homie. You're not living in reality. No, you would teach your daughters to be feminine. That's what you're supposed to do. As a masculine man, you're going to teach your daughters to be comfortable in who they are. You're going to teach them to be a feminine woman, because guess what? You're supposed to be the masculine man. I'm not going to sit up here and tell my daughters, "Hey, I need you to keep a hard wall up all the time because these men are crazy." No, you can still be a respectable woman. You can still be a feminine woman, still know how to tell a man no, and he understands what that means. And you can do it as gracefully. You can still be as graceful as you possibly can. And they will understand that. You don't need to be a hard neck to get it across to a man for him to understand. Because 9 times out of 10, a woman who is worth her salt, a woman who moves in a feminine way, a woman who moves and she has this aura about herself, and you know she's an A1 woman because of how she presents herself, most men are going to be afraid to approach it. And not only that, they understand that they're going to have to come at her correct. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Men. Majority of women in these other places compared to America. So the issue we have is, so when a woman goes to another country, she will have the same complaint as here. She will have to take care of that Thailand man. And that's the same problem she's having here. She got to take care of that goddamn man over here because majority of men are not able to take care of a woman. They need a woman to keep their family going. So it's a lot of men that have this boast about these ancient times where men was just in the goddamn, in the fields and tilling the land and act like that's today. It is not today. This idea that they built this world by themselves is just not a reality. Y'all erase a lot of the women's history. But when
okay, so tell me what bridges that women were building. Tell me what skyscrapers and streets that they were building. Tell me, what hard labor were they performing? What type of mining were they doing when they was creating railroads? Tell me that. I'm trying to understand the win. I want to know. 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 Nobody's erasing anything from women's history. We know there are women who have done phenomenal things in this world. But I guarantee they ain't the same one talking about that they're the table. There are a lot of women out here who get into it. They get into they bad, but they understand, but they still understand the dynamics of a man and a woman. They know their place. A man knows his place. No, he don't know what he talking about. He just talking.
we start peeling back the onion and we turn this into a cry fest, we understand women was out there hunting as well. When that man was going on his goddamn horse trying to catch a goddamn buffalo for 3 weeks at a time, who was taking care of the home?
Okay.
So we got to start being more realistic, because these ideas that we having about men, nobody will want their daughter to date that ideal man. You be right there the next day like, hey, who you talking to? I raised this young lady. You can't talk to my daughter that way, but you would tell every man that he has some goddamn rights to a woman because he has a penis in his.
What right? I didn't even hear Yuri say that he had a right to. He just said, listen, there's no reason for you to have an attitude. There's no reason for you to have a guard up. I didn't present you with anything. I'm just saying, why can't you just be a feminine woman? That's all he's saying. He didn't say that he's supposed to, these women are supposed to talk to him. He didn't say that. He said these women operate different. They move in their own fit. They move in their femininity. That's what they're doing. But most modern women are not moving that way. They hard necks. They rah-rah. And this man like Sharon, who tell them to be that way? For what? For what?
The goddamn clitoris fell out. It's ridiculous.
Totally agree.
Yuri, do you have a rebuttal for Sharon?
I think he maybe certain things were taken out of context, or I don't know, maybe we're defining femininity differently in terms of baseline respect in approach. I don't see any reason, it sounds a little insecure actually, I don't see any reason why a woman cannot be kind, mindful, respectful, and engage in conversation. What does that have to do with
what? Let him land, please.
No, I think some of the things that I mentioned earlier were taken out of context about the whole approaching a woman and her having this ego or entitlement of, I don't owe you a conversation. There's nothing wrong with engaging in conversation. Nobody's asking her to come home and sleep with. It's just a conversation. That's number one. Okay. And if you're going to come at me hot and heavy like that, well, that's an issue with self. And regarding masculinity and femininity, that's fine. You know, it is what it is. We can agree to disagree or vice versa. But if I got to bring out femininity from a woman, which I do disagree with. I think there's a difference between maintaining it and keeping it structurally healthy and foundationally versus getting it out. I think a divine feminine starts feminine. I think a woman wakes up in the morning in her feminine energy. And until and unless I, as a man, give her a reason to buckle down, then she's feminine. That's the play, and that's how it is. And what you said respectfully is a very Western pro-feminism thing, in my opinion.
And by the way, Sharon, before you go,
Sharon,
before you go to reply to both of us, MTR didn't say, I want her to talk with me, she should talk with me. He said, I went to her, she had a frown on her face, she treated me like I was the enemy, so I went ahead and moved on, like a man. That's not what you want a man to do. You are at the bar, which is a social area. You see a woman that you like. You approach her. She rejects you or kind of like is closed out. So you go ahead and to find a woman that actually likes you. You should be pushing that. That makes woman safe. That makes woman actually feel more comfortable being around men. You don't want a man to go ahead and to talk with a woman, and because he's closed off, now all of a sudden we have a problem because there's many that is harassing her, insisting, trying to get her number, and all women here on this conversation probably suffer from that. Men that couldn't take a no, men that keep going and going and going. If this man is dating woman and these women are literally closed out to him and he's choosing to go around women that their eyes lighten as soon as they see him, where should he be, Sharon? Next to the woman that are closed out to him and don't like his advances and all this, or next to the woman that are very happy that they have an attention from an American man? Where should he be?
So the problem with his no is that he looked at it as a negative instead of looking at it, that's her right to have the no. And so when he expresses it that way, he is presenting resentment, and other men are adding that resentment onto women that before they even communicate with a woman. So they have a predisposition moving forward. Instead of say, oh, this one said no to me, but I'm going to talk to the other one that is receptive, the one that did smile at me, the one that do like me, the one that is in my bracket, so to speak. That's the issue. And I also do find it funny that Yuri is from, he said he is Russian and he's Eastern European. He is from a country where the women are not known to be soft. They are not known to be cooks.
He said his roots are Ukrainian. His roots are Ukrainian, but he lives in Russia. He's Russian, but he has Ukrainian roots.
What they're known to be very rough, aggressive, and they want to be princesses. Is what they want to be. They just make sure they are skinny and they make sure they spend their man's money. They are not known for these goddamn homemakers. So I think that is very interesting and rich that he is trying to talk to us on our culture about
Yuri, I got you. No, 1 second, Yuri. I got you. Hey, Yuri, you know what's funny about this? 1 second. Yuri, you know what's funny about this? Sharon had 150 million to choose and he got a Russian wife. So he agrees with you. He had 150 million women to choose on the United States. No, hey, Yuri, I got you. I promise you, Yuri. This man for 3 years is the best taken care man on Fight Club history. He's right here. His woman comes in with some food. Baby, you guys, you need anything and all this. So Sharon, you need to shut the fuck up with that bullshit. Because you literally didn't pick the woman in Atlanta. You didn't pick the woman in New York. You went to go to Mother Russia to get the woman that Yuri is talking about right now.
Hold on,
Yuri.
She got your ass.
Damn,
I should have clarified.
Or are we speaking objectively?
Let me please respond to that. The problem is we talking about a culture. You talking about my personal woman. Those are two different things.
Right.
We talking about the culture of what he is talking about, and they culture of women is not a representation of what he is saying. We could all go through any Russian meme if you want to.
Hold on, I want to clarify. I wasn't talking about Russian. I should have said I was Ukrainian. I should have specified there's a difference between Russian women and Ukrainian women, and I apologize, I didn't specify that. My background is from Ukraine, so Ukrainian women and Russian women are different. I just want that for the record. So when I talk about my traditional values and culture, it's about Ukrainian women, and they are very warm and loving, different than Russian women, just FYI.
Southern women are different from women in New York. So, like, women in America are different in different areas. People in my own town, and I live in well, the second largest city in Georgia. But in my own town, we're different on the west side than we are on the east side. And I'm in the same damn city. You can't always like this. Are we talking subjectively or are we going to be personal? Because
well, Mimi, hold on, sweetheart. Subjectively and personal is the same thing. But objectively is what you mean. But I got you though. I see what you're trying to get with it. Yeah, I mean, even in the Western world, right? There are different sides. There are different sides of the coin too. You got different areas where their women are soft. You know, a lot of people go to or they look at it as Southern women, right, versus Northern women or Eastern women or West women, right? Westernized the women on the West Coast tend to be a little bit more liberal, a little bit more free. Women in the South tend to be a little bit more Southern Belle, like, you know, more respectful, like, you know, more homegrown, if you will. Them East Coast girls, roughnecks. They're gonna tell you like it is. They're gonna call you everything but a child of God. Right? We get that, but also in each one of those aisles, there's still women on the other side of the coin. They're soft, they're feminine, you know, they're divine feminine women. Right? They operate in their femininity at all times. We understand that, man. We understand that. But we're talking about as the culture as a whole. The culture as a whole is messed up when it comes to this propaganda, when it comes to this femininity, when it comes to this feminist mindset. The propaganda that's being pushed, women empowerment. Hear me roar. I can do what a man can do. I should be able to do what men do. But at the same time, because I can do what a man can do, I should still also be treated like a woman. No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. There's double standards out here for a reason. Some that benefit men, some that benefit women. That's the way of the world. And you need to operate as such. But what we're saying in general, women need to start operating more in their feminine energy at all times. It's not a man's responsibility to make you feminine. You should already be feminine. Just like what Buddy said in the comment earlier. He said, I'm gay. I'm a gay man that becomes straight when women are in their feminine. Y'all see how crazy that would sound? It's like, oh, well, you're a gay man, but once a woman gets in her femininity, now I'm a masculine man. That don't make sense. As a masculine man, you should always remain masculine, no matter if you're around a feminine woman or a woman who's not feminine. You should always be in your masculinity as a man. And this is the same thing with women. You should always be in your femininity, regardless of what's going on in the world. Your femininity matters.
He's talking about one second. No. You don't have to do that. He's talking about women in Atlanta. Is a particular city. Women that usually live in big cities, they behave.
Not every woman in Atlanta.
And not every man. Like, why are we doing not every? You know what's funny?
I know, but you generalize Western women. He said Western women. So that was a very large.
You know what's Mimi? You know that Sharon agrees with him about Western woman? You know that he agrees with you?
I'm sure he does, but yes, I don't know that he's talking personally.
Hey, Sharon, and I'm trying to bury my man. I really am, because the Knicks won the thingy. Sharon, we know red pill Sharon. We know it, Sharon. Sharon.
And I want to talk about you goddamn filthy ass women. Wow. Y'all don't want to. Filthy ass women, babe. This is so filthy. The filthy ass women that don't want to cook and clean, but they still want a man to protect and provide.
Sharon, can we stop the act? Sharon, can we stop the act, Sharon? Come on, Sharon.
Before everybody jump in, I was very specific.
Oh no.
I was very specific. I said the woman that want a certain thing.
Sharon, I have 4 more videos. Do you want me to play it or do you want me to leave you alone?
What I'm saying. I didn't put it in general all women. It was very specific to a certain group of people. So just like how I have a certain group of red pill men, right? Those are a certain group of men. So when we talk about red pill men, we are talking about a group of men. So when I was talking to that certain context of the conversation, it's cool to have the clip and make it seem like I was put it in general all women, but I was not. Especially if we watched the whole show.
That's fair.
Sharon just looks at listens who his
It's
audience
okay.
is, and
It's
that's
okay.
who he speaks to. He just
No. It's not like that, Sharon. Sharon, who is more responsible, man or woman?
I think. Can I say this? Let me say this real quick. And I'll let it play, man. When y'all are having conversations, I need y'all to be more precise in what y'all saying. Just get to the point, because you just said you kept trying to say the same thing. You did not have to go on and on and on. Like, listen, man, what I was saying, if there's more context to the video, but you only played a small clip of it, and then you should have left it there. You didn't have to keep. You was about to say the same thing, but you was about to say it a whole different way. They heard you the first time. Like, listen, man, the video you put out there, it is not the entirety of the video. There's far more context in that video, but I see what you were trying to do. And then just leave it at that. I can't stand it. And then you get mad when you get cut off. Be precise, man.
It depends on what you're talking about.
Okay, but you see what I'm talking about, and this is what I'm saying. It didn't depend here.
I think men are way more responsible than women.
Like you
Come
said,
on
I'm
now,
saying,
dog.
like,
Come on, man.
I know that the Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Hey, no, let me finish, please, friends. Hey, Sharon. Hey, 1 second, friends. Let's go 1 second, friends. I asked you. Wait, Sharon. You know what? Hey, 1 second, Sharon. Sharon, please let me finish. Sharon, let me finish. Sharon. Sharon, it's not. Sharon, 1 second. Sharon, it's not personal. On the last, let me finish, please. On the last week, I was cleaning my computer, and I said, you know what? I'm going to order from A to Z everything that everybody said, just in case they come on my panel and they start to lie. And you have more 4 videos of you literally saying the same thing that MTR and Yuri are saying. So why does Dreadlock Sharon talks away, but clean cut New York Knicks champion Sharon now? No, it depends on the situation. Woman, like, what are you doing?
Hold up, don't slide yet. I got a feeling.
This is why you gotta be careful sometimes, bro. I know there are times where you may contradict yourself sometimes. I know that happens when in certain conversations, but a lot of times you gotta try your best to maintain your square, dog. Because if you made content way back then up there pandering, or you call yourself red pill back in the day, and then now you want to switch over and now you want to play the feminist role, hey man, you better go delete them videos. You better go delete them videos, big dog. You better go do it. But hey, be what it is, bro. Be what it is. I just personally think that at the end of the day, women should always remain feminine, regardless of your circumstances, regardless of where you are. I get it. Some women grow up in circumstances where they had to be masculine, or they had to be hard. They had to put their wall up. I get it. But in the grand scheme of things, in the broad scope of things, women should remain feminine, just as men should always remain masculine. Yeah, I get the idea. Oh, well, and we all got both in us. Yeah, we know that. We know that men do have some femininity in them, just like women do have some masculinity in them. But you should, as a man, should always remain in your masculine energy at all times. And a woman should always remain in her feminine energy. Simple as that. But let me know what y'all think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you support the channel. Make sure you support the channel with a super chat, my good people. Show your boy some love on this Sunday.
All right. Man, get my phone on. All right, bro. Man, get my phone on, man. Get my phone on. Get my phone on.
Listen, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out either of these 2 videos right here. And make sure you share this post with your friends and your family.
Yo, man. I appreciate y'all for coming and kicking with your boy today, man. Today was dope on this Sunday. For everybody who came to kick it, for those of y'all who were engaging in the comments, I appreciate y'all for pulling up. If y'all haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. If you haven't liked, make sure you do so. Also, if you want to become part of the ENG community, man, just join the membership. The smallest, I think the smallest is 99 cents and the highest is $2.99. So become an ENG member. We got to get to 100 members by the end of the year. All right. Also, if you want to support the channel, of course, super chat it up. You can also super chat it later once y'all rewatch it. The people who haven't watched it and you give it a watch their own rewatch it, you can support that way. Be on the lookout for the next uploaded video. Show your love there. Go share it with your family and friends. Listen, let's get this channel up, man. We got to get to 5K. We got to get to 5K. All right. Hey, what up, Food Carry? I appreciate you for pulling up. But until next time, my good people, I appreciate y'all, and I will holla.